Right, ready to kick off when you are, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot, man, go for it.
Yeah. All right, so guys, hello and welcome to the very first Forward as One podcast. My name is Dan. We're joined. We are very professional. We're very professional. Guys, welcome everybody. It's been a real pleasure to have streamed patch 12 so far. Guys, welcome everyone. Currently we have Takals, we've got Gunvash, we've got Graham, Prophet, we've got Atlas and Sea Warfighter joining us on today's podcast, guys. The very first ever Forward as One. So we're probably gonna jump straight into it, guys. We do have a nice little schedule that we're gonna stick to tonight, and let's start with patch 12 so far. So for those of you that are looking at the itinerary, okay, we've got the tasks, guys. Favorite tasks and why? Go. Let's start it off.
None. I hate that.
I think for me, the introduction of taking out the Scab Bosses in order was a good move. At least one of the better tasks they brought into this patch point 12. I mean, it's obviously going to go on to our least favourite ones, but I think it's bringing to line the future tasks when the game gets bigger and bigger and the stories become more complete. Taking out these enemies, these Scab Bosses might have underlying reasons and subtasks as well, so I like those. It's pretty good.
Agreed.
Fair enough.
Did you say favorite and least favorite, or just favorite?
Let's start off with the favorites for now.
Since
I don't
point
have any,
12
I don't
or
think.
since ever?
Patch 12. So from start of patch 12 till today, what was your favorite task or favorite couple of tasks?
Actually, still the one with the golden zippo. I love that one quest involves doing multiple things on one map. It adds retention. It adds to you staying in a raid longer, planning your movement, make a route in your head that you want to take, and acting to that, and also really not rushing it like a fool and really waiting for the opportunity. Can I go to place A, grab the thing? Can I go to place B? Is place B where I have to drop the thing? Free, or do you have to watch the area? I really like doing multiple things in one raid and not just go pick up and bring back.
Yeah, no, I
definitely.
totally agree with that one. I like doing multiple things on one map.
You know, on a similar note, but slightly different at the same time, I was going to say my favorite one is going into that customs office, grabbing those documents and taking them into factory, because it still has that
Delivery
same
from
level
the
of
past.
complexity. Yeah, delivery from the past. That's right.
I just can't
Call me
stand it.
crazy. That quest has given me so much pain and heartache, but at the same time, I think it's one of the more enjoyable ones, because not only do you know after you've successfully retrieved it that you have to extract with it, but you also know that you have to survive with it again. And the stakes are just so high, because if you die on that factory run, you got to go back to customs, and that's generally a quest done in the beginning of the wipe. And with that, you don't necessarily have all the gear to be spending to keep running two map string of quests over and over and over. So I really enjoy it.
For sure. It definitely brings more of a dynamic to the game, definitely. There's a lot of tasks in the game that are literally just go here, do this, go there, do that. Kill 1,000 scabs with fucking shrimp. So yeah, it's definitely. I think the fact that that's come up, I think what we're sort of getting at is that tasks where you have to do multiple things, tasks where it's quite dynamic and makes you move around the map and even cross different maps as well, with that task item still in your possession, I think it definitely ups the stakes a little bit, definitely ups the ante. And it's a tricky task as well. There's a lot of people that get quite far into the wipe and still have trouble with the further you get into the wipe, the harder that task is to do, of course, because everyone is more geared the days that go by. Yeah, very nice. So that's the favorite task, guys. Least favorite tasks and why? What task has really grinded your gears in patch 12?
Just 10 kills in factory. I'm
What
not
language
a
is
fan
that?
of factory. That's Gremlin. That's what that is. But yeah, no, I hate
factory.
I hate factory. Like the 10 kills in factory, I've still not done it now, and I'm level 44.
I think some of the worst ones that I see, it's not necessarily any one quest, but it's all the ones that have completely, it's like not grounded in lore or anything. It's just some random fucking thing that you have to do, like put on a scab vest and a balaclava and go kill 45 killers in a fucking ditch somewhere. It's fucking stupid. Like they need to kind of kill down the non-lore or non-RPG elements of the game, I think.
Stop flexing, dude.
I'm
Put me off.
sitting back.
He's the biggest one. He's like, oh, look at my arm.
The problem is, he's the biggest one on my screen. And he's twice the size.
I just sit back and comfortable.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't, because I'm not doing anything.
Just get a raid on in the background. We'll be fine.
One of my least favorite quests is the contamination service, where you have to wear that 3M body armor, the white one with a respirator, and kill about 30 scavs on interchange. That's such a pain.
I've got 1 out of 30, and that's as far as I've got. I was like, I'm not doing this, bro. Fuck off.
It's such a pain in the ass, man. And I mean, at the state in the game where everybody already affords good gear, because it's actually a pretty late one from Ragman. So, dude, it's just pure grind, man. I don't like stuff like that. Going in and, well, take your 3M, take a Makarov, kill one guy only to get killed again. Because bringing good gear doesn't make much sense, because, well, having a 3M is almost the same as having non-armor in the game.
Yeah, you
I would
practically
say
naked.
3M's the best armor in the game, especially when it's on a scav.
See, I'm confused why the Mosin mission line's still in the game, because people hate the gun itself, and let's be honest here, it's firing a high caliber, high velocity round that's going to kill you one shot. We're not arguing that. So they brought in 2 new ammo types on this on the pit, but the fact there's loads of missions for one gun, there's no other gun in the game really that does that for that weapon system. It's really strange why it's still in game, and a lot of things are in game because it's a placeholder for further things in the future. But I don't know why they can't just mix it up a bit, have one mission for that gun, then go on to something else entirely different, because it encourages the use of weapon system that I find a bit annoying, to say the least. When you get killed by that, and you're like, a naked dude has killed you with Mosin, you're fully geared, and you could also argue that's a fair thing, he shot you in the face, but I don't know. Less encouraging of a weapon system that's overly used already is, I think, a good.
Honestly, what would fix it, dude, in my opinion, is a lot of these quests are locked behind, like that quest where you got to go to customs with a shotgun and a scab vest and a ushanka. That's like the last quest from Skier. So it's like, some of these should have been released a lot sooner, or like made available to us.
Hey, Vash, thank you
so that we can like.
Oh shit, my bad.
That's so rude.
That's so rude. Wrong keyboard. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yo.
But just so that, like, for example, next patch, what I'm hoping they do is immediately from Ragman, you can get the kill Killa 100 times quests. Because then by the month and a half, you without even trying, you're already at 50 kills. You know what I'm saying? So it just is more of a natural, or like Prophet was saying, like take away the Mosin, like 10 scabs with the Mosin, make it 150 scabs with any gun. Let them unlock it at level 2. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to just pick and choose the guns you want to use rather than being forced 153s and shit. It's just terrible.
I mean, one idea that I also said out on the last podcast we had, like the idea that I personally would love to see a Tarkov shooter quest, kill a scav with every gun once.
I like that.
That's pretty cool.
See with every gun once. That would be so much fun.
I don't like it when they lock tasks behind a specific gun. The Pacific gun, or whatever you call it. Yeah. I hate that. Why not just do it as like a 7.62 caliber weapon? So you can use what you want to use rather than having to use an AKM on Shoreline.
It would be nice to have more freedom with a lot of those kind of tasks for sure. And I love the idea of them being opened up earlier as well. Like, you spend a lot of time getting traders to level 2, 3, 4, and then all of a sudden, hey, use this bog standard bare bones weapon that you never used since the first day of the patch. Go and use that to kill geared guys. Like, why are you asking me to do that? Like, it's just frustrating. I don't think it's challenging for me personally. Or it is challenging, but not from a gameplay perspective. It turns more into a grind than a challenge, if that makes sense. But yeah, I definitely definitely agree with you guys. Setup is a task that is mentioned a lot. And having the killer task came halfway through patch 12, to be fair. So we'll see when we hit patch 13 or whenever the next wipe's going to be. We'll see if that is then added at the start. Because if that's kill killer 100 times and it's added at the very start, like you say, it's going to be a much more natural sort of thing rather than like, hey, you've just finished everything. Oh, by the way, here's 100 raids that you need to go and do. You know.
Is that task blocking the way to get the cap container or not?
No.
I don't think it does. No, because people already had the cap container before they added
I suppose the addition right now is a bit of fun, but that certainly block the way. It'd be rather irritating. But like you said there at the start of the wipe or the patch, it'd be purely natural. You do it as you play the game. You wouldn't have to focus that mission, would you particularly?
Yeah, I think only Atlas and I are having the kappa, and both of us never had to finish the killer quest first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm only at 14 killers and I still have cap. So
yeah, it's the first patch. I actually haven't gone for the kappa yet.
I'll go for kappa when the game releases, and it ain't gonna get taken off me because that is.
You're right. The frustration and tears that came with it. I don't know, man. Some nights.
Also, a question that I find or that I think is worth mentioning is the bullshit quest, because this quest is literally bullshit. I mean, I get it if you're a team. All right, this quest makes sense. But I, for instance, I'm most of the time a solo player. That's a pain in the ass quest to do. Like, you have to go to dorms. You are not allowed to kill any scavs. You already have scavs in there. All you have to do is like sit outside dorms for like 10 minutes until the raid ends. Pray to the Tarkov cause there's nobody that's in there left, and then put these things in, right?
Is bullshit task where you have to not fire around, not kill a scav?
Yeah,
not kill a scav.
Okay.
Basically, Dan got me and 4 of his Sherpas from his Discord to help him with that one.
Yeah, I was saying
I got friends to do it.
I literally said, guys, I'm going to do every task as natural as possible, and then bullshit came up, and I was like, now what? I was like, well, I got caught. You know, I need to ask my friends for this.
The developers always said that this was intended to be a team play game. You know, I don't necessarily think that they should strictly design it around that. There's plenty of people that can only play solo or prefer to play solo, and that's fine. But even still, that's still a task that you can actually go into a raid and accomplish, whether it's on your own or with a team. You know, that's going to determine how difficult it is for you. But it's still something that you can go and actively work on. Whereas my least favorite quest, something like Healthcare Privacy Part 4, get your passive soft skill up to a certain level that you can't really do anything with.
Psycho Sniper.
Yes.
Now there are tasks that revolve around your soft skills that are determined by how much you use, say, a weapon. That's different. If you have to get your sniper level up, for example, that's something you can actively go into the game and do. I'm going to choose to use more bolt action rifles, right? That's interesting. I think that's fun enough. It's not the most interesting, but it's more interesting than leveling a passive soft skill that you can't have any control over, really, realistically. Not like, you know, choosing to go in with a bolt action. I think that's different. That's why that's my least favorite.
Yeah, good points.
Yeah.
Very good points indeed. Very good. Right. Let's move on then. Let's go on to the weapons. So we've seen a number of new weapons being added to the game during patch 12. Most notably for me, the MDR 308, the SR25, the P90, and the 5.7 pistol. Aside from those guys,
Dan, what about the 205?
Yeah.
Great gun, that is.
that thing, fucking
It's
366.
It sounds
good. Yeah.
It does sound good. Of course, the T5000 as well. Not to be, not to forget that. But guys, what is your go-to weapon from the new selection we've seen over the past couple of months?
Well, I've used the NDR and the P90 and the 5.7 a lot. I've not really used the SR25 yet, or any of the others, and they're really good. I really like them, to be fair.
The P90 is really strong.
Yeah, it's really strong.
The P90 is badass, man. Like, I was like, I'm going to use this for a meme, but it's actually really good. I was like, well, okay, that's sweet. Keep it.
The 5.7 with the
ammo do
rifle.
you guys run in the P90?
What's it called? It's the slowest one. It's weird. It's like subsonic, but it's really high pen. It's really good. 193.
Yeah.
193.
Yeah, 193.
I have bad luck using the P90. I've been sticking with the MP7 APSX Classic. 5.7 would be my new favorite gun, but I've been using the SA-58. But the thing that I'd like to point out is, you guys notice the new the Lantac blast mitigation device and the
That
adapter.
thing's insane.
It's not a new gun, but it makes the M1A and the SA-58 a little bit more viable. You know, that's what I've been mostly relying on. I like it.
I think that's the third. I think that's going to be the first attachment to be nerfed, let's say, because it is really good.
You
But
think
it's a
so?
bit, yeah, it's a bit too good. It brings.
I don't think so.
You're getting the M1A down to like 39 recoil. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bit much, I think.
I don't think they're going to nerf it because they didn't nerf the M4. What's it called? Muzzle, or what's it called?
Jailbreak.
Jailbreak. Yeah. So I don't see them nerfing it, honestly. I mean, they seem to want people to be able to nerf or get their recoil down.
I feel you. I think, yeah. I mean, that takes us back to a point that we spoke to before about like a minimum. Let's say like 7.62 NATO weapons can only go to this, because there becomes a point, I think, that it gets to the stage where it's just ridiculous. Like, yeah, it's got all these great mods on it. It's a fantastically built weapon, but it's like, come on, bro. It's a 7.62 NATO round. You know, is there a line? Like, are we getting weapon recoil too low, do you think?
I think you got to balance off realism to the game itself. Like, I don't know, the M4 builds. You build an M4, it's all perfectly exactly the same. Barrel length's going to change certain things. I think try and keep it realistic, but if it's stupidly like a freaking laser beam combined with the RPG elements of the game, where you can rank up your recoil control to a point with modding it can be like a pinpoint. It's ridiculous. So I think, especially with 7.6 weapons, when they bring the LMGs into game, they're going to have to be careful of that and balance out by, you must have a bipod down, you must rest on something else. Because if you can stand up with the maxed out recoil control, maxed out stat weapon itself, and laser people with 7.62 rounds.
One side of Doms to the other, just laser beaming.
It's going to be crazy. 100 round belts and stuff. It's going to be,
of course.
They got to balance it out a bit, I think. And
we really do need working bipods in this game now.
Yep, definitely, absolutely.
For sure.
I think it's quite a simple mechanic.
Hopefully
There's
they
vision in the
implement
game.
them well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
One
You
guy
take note of Squad. That game there, how they use mounts in that game.
For sure.
Yeah, the mounts work really well. The bipods are great. They make a huge difference. I think the bipod, like, so if you shoot a high caliber LMG without a bipod, your gun is going to be pointed straight up in the air real quick. But if you're on a bipod, gosh, it is a laser beam, as it should be. But back onto Tarkov though. I think the proper implementation would be really good, because everybody knows that static targets in Tarkov, you're just asking to get a headshot. So I don't think it's gonna be overpowered, because you do become a much more easy target when you are stationary like that. But you do get the good recoil control on a very high caliber, high fire rate, with good, sustainability from a belt of ammunition. So I think it'll be a fair trade-off, and I'm really excited to see it. However, back onto the previously listed weapons, my favorite's actually going to be the 5.7. We already had an SR-25, right? We already had semi-automatic 308s,
True.
right?
Yeah.
The SAS, the M1A, the MDR 308. That just sounds like the SA-58, right? I mean, I know they're all very, very cool guns, and I was very excited to see them. Same with the P90. We had the MP7. We had other high fire rate, high pen weapons, but the 5.7, I think, changed the game the most. I've seen more people run just a bolt action and a pistol than I ever before. It used to be, bolt action and your M4. I see a lot more people comfortable running with just a pistol as their sidearm to their long range rifle. And I think that's a really cool thing, because it has better pen than even the AP 9mm, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it brings pistols into a much more viable position within Tarkov, which I was really excited to see.
Totally agree. I played the 5.7 Silence a couple of times. It's freaking reliable. It's pretty accurate, and in my opinion, the best pistol currently in the game.
I mean, that pistol is real to life, isn't it? That gun is notorious around the world, and police forces hate it because it's armor piercing, and they hate it because the army people normally wear in police force around the world, America, where it's like 9mm or 0.45 maybe defense against that, but the FN uses specific rounds to pen armor, and kill
Mhm.
targets. Obviously, shoot somebody, you're gonna die most likely. But the ammo is as it is phenomenal. I think it's a good addition to the game. Makes it a bit different rather than Glock meta as
Mhm.
was before.
Yeah, it's a very, very small caliber, but it is technically, I believe, a rifle cartridge, and it does pierce very, very well. And I think Tarkov needed that. A powerful pistol.
When
indeed,
are
bud.
the revolvers coming? I want to have my 38 Magnum.
They're gonna be so trash though.
Jesus. I mean, I think it's gonna be
Revolvers.
one shot, isn't it? Not it's gonna have to be like the recoil's be insane. So one shot, back down again, re-aim. If you can fan the hammer, that'd be amazing in CQB. But like in
What, like John Wayne at the hip? Like,
Around the Smith and Wesson 50.
realistic.
was that-
You've played what's that other game? It's out recently, last few years. You can fan the hammer in that game.
Red
Go
Dead
back to the
Redemption.
football. No.
You think you're gonna be able to fan the hammer with a 50 caliber?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's Tarkov, man. High recoil control. Boom. Sorted.
I
Easy.
guess you're gonna have Ghost Freak out there fucking tapping everything in the chest with the 50 cal.
Exactly.
just put a bipod on it, your sound. Be fine.
12 times.
Speaking of revolvers, guys, the Chiappa Rhino has been confirmed for a good while. I'm not sure what they're waiting on. Maybe it's the implementation of like the system because it's completely new with like the cylindrical chamber and whatnot. I'm not 100% sure on the terminology. But the Rhino has been, as far as I'm aware, been confirmed. It's all been modelled. It comes in a variety of different lengths, most likely different calibers as well. So those of you that are looking forward to revolvers, give that a Google, have a look, see what you think. It should be pretty
Tarkov
cool.
Wiki's a good place for it.
Indeed, yeah. Tarkov Wiki, !Wiki in the chat. Get on that and go check it out. Guys, the armor ammo meta. Let's move on to the next topic. The armor / ammo
Oh, no.
meta. This is something that is a real topic and a half. AP ammo price increase, first of all. Guys, no, please carry on.
It's this will breach onto flea market anyway, because flea market is getting abused. That's a separate topic, but that's the reason why it's increasing in price, I believe. I could be wrong, but let's keep it to himself. But it's increasing the entire time because the abuse, in my opinion, of the flea market. But I've always said in the game though that best ammo in the game potentially could be that found in raid only purely, and that then would lead to a better economy in game in the first place.
Or craft only.
Or craft only, and rewards you for
Hideout.
looting, increases progression in the game, actually applies more reason to actually go into raids and loot certain stuff. But I would like to see iteration of the ammo price increase, maybe keep it at that potentially, with altering the flea market, but also have more found in raid stuff and construction bits, like making the M95 rounds and M61 rounds already made at workbench in game.
I think
love-
if you-
But
I
would you
love
say
that
the
fact.
same for armor then?
Yeah, I was about to
the
say, you're gonna
same
run
for
into
the
that
high
issue.
tier armors, right? So you'd
Yeah.
have to balance that
Completely
for
agree.
it to work properly. Otherwise, everybody would just be buying the best armor. No one would have the
Mhm.
best ammo except for those who have worked hard and stashed for a
The
while.
sweaties, yeah.
and
Sweaties.
then you would just have everybody running around as tanks, sponging up all the bullets you can imagine. Which brings me to my point about the armor ammo meta. I think it could be a lot worse. What I want to see changed the most about the armor and ammo meta is the effect that low pen rounds have on high tier armor. I want more aim punch. I want a hell of a lot more aim punch. If you're hitting somebody with a 7.62 by 39, PS,
A shotgun,
round,
dude,
low
point
pen,
blank.
or a shotgun, or a slug, or whatever it is, I'm totally fine with the current damage to body that is currently happening in the game. You're not really doing much to the guy if they're wearing a fort and you're shooting 7.62, 39 PS. But that guy should not be able to line up an easy one tap on your head when you're spraying him down with 30, 40, 74 rounds.
Well, the problem was like the what was it, like patch 0.7? If I remember right, they actually reduced the aim punch.
Yeah,
Before
around that time.
that, it was pretty massive. Everybody was complaining. Everybody was pitching around. It's just being too hard, and they reduced it. So it's kind of interesting to see that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the idea here. But it's interesting to see like something that they reduced, you want to bring up again.
Well, no, but exactly. I think it would not. I think affecting the armor ammo meta in this way would change the game so much for the better. I think firefights would be so much more interesting because, all right, I'm a sweaty, thick-geared boy, and I'm getting hit by some schmuck with PS ammo. All right, well, he's hitting me. Now I got to take cover, reposition, and repeak. And it's going to make firefights potentially last a little longer, potentially get a little bit more interesting. I think.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a really, really fun thing.
I think they'll work it out. Right now, what they're doing is they're just balancing it. So sometimes they give, sometimes they take. You know what I'm saying? And they're just trying to see how it all is like reacting. I think it's a good idea that they increase like 995 and other things because like you said, I'm just sick of running around fully kitted. No matter what, I still get one tapped. Because everybody can run the best ammo. It's plentiful. It's easy to find. But now they're starting to balance it, right? The thing that I really had a problem with was I would go to bed and 995 was $4. I would wake up and 995 was $9. No word, nothing. They had nothing was said. All they got to do is send out a little tweet that says tweaked price. Like they don't have to give us patch notes or anything, but like just tell us as you're making changes, so
I think what's done
viewers and players and things.
Yeah, I think what's done that is because he brought the player economy back in, and as soon as he brought that back in, the prices and everything just went flying sky high because people are greedy. That's what it comes down to.
Smart.
So greedy. And they shouldn't really have the traders affected as much as what they have at the moment from the flea market prices. It shouldn't affect it as much as what it is doing. It's like, what is it, $11 for a round of 995 now?
It is now, yeah. $11.
Yeah, you can't actually make any more profit off of it. They killed it. So
Yeah.
players that are using 905 are only buying what they can from Peacekeeper. That's it. Then using that until the next reset.
But note that you can make it 140 odd rounds in your hideout for the green gunpowder and a 30mm shell. And to buy those combined, roughly is about 90k. 90k for 140 rounds MI5 is far cheaper, I believe, than the $1,500 for the same amount of rounds. Yeah,
I mean, I love the fact that you can craft these things now in Hideout, which is absolutely genius. I just what I really would wish is like that you can set up a crafting queue. I mean, I used to play online MMORPGs, and that would be great if you had like your stash ready, create that amount, and just set it on a loop until all your mats run out. That would drastically improve it.
That's a really good point. I think it really fits well. I think the crafting system fits really, really well with the vibe and aesthetic that Tarkov has and intends to progress forward on. That would make it feel so much more like a true like survival sim. Like you really do have to loot things. That was my biggest problem earlier on before the Hideout was ever released. Was it didn't really feel like a loot game. It was just kill PMCs, take their stuff, and make money, and that's all it was. There was no exploration needed. You didn't need to loot. You didn't need to check bags because why? It's not the chances of having anything useful for you are so low.
Yeah, I like the Hideout where it comes in where actually everything is lootable now. Everything is actually worth taking to do stuff for the Hideout.
Yeah, that's definitely a great addition to the game. Now everything's actually useful. Which is fantastic. It's not like, some bolts or nuts, brilliant, I'm just going to leave it. It's like, I can pick up these bolts and nuts. I've got some expeditionary fuel. Going to create some mag boxes on the toilet. So it's definitely heading in the right direction. While we're still on the topic of ammo and armor, guys, something came up in the chat to do with armor plate hitboxes. Okay, so those of you that have worn body armor in real life before will know that your whole body is not obviously covered by the same, let's say, to keep it within the realms of the game, the same class of body armor. You've most likely got soft body armor, probably class 2 for argument's sake. Let's say, arbitrary numbers. You're going to have maybe hit plates. If you've got the like IOTV, you're going to have your hit plates, and then obviously you're going to have your big main plates front and rear. As far as I'm aware, this idea has been pushed forward to BSG about plate hitboxes, but I think the meta to do with AP ammo and to do with armor that people use, I think people will probably move a lot closer to using like plate carriers and stuff like that. People are going to want to be more nimble. I don't think. I don't know. It's kind of tricky to talk about because there are so many changes that need to happen with armor from a physical point of view, not just from like, stats based. So I think it is going to be sort of floating around. It's going to move around a little bit until those changes come in.
Yeah, I think we see that already. I think we started to see that already with the LSHZ helmet, because it's a class 4, and then the back they have that attachable avant guard for your neck. That's class 5. So that's cool. I think what Dan said is 100% right. Side sappies, front chest plates.
Yeah,
I think it would be fairly easy for them to do, honestly, because then all you got to do is just make your thorax go to 5 once you put a plate in it, right?
Exactly.
But then the other ones stay at 4 or whatever like that. But I think that, so if you did that, so that would be partially armor balancing, and then you had the ammo changes like we were talking about. So if you have the ammo changes, the armor changes, and everything, so those lower tier ammos would be more viable against non-plate carrier people, or just shooting them in the stomach or other places that aren't covered by the plate. So I mean, I think that that's very viable. And also going on to Collis's thing, he had said something about creating or the looping stuff into the hideout. I think that you could do that with the lore friendly by hiring a scab from Fence or something like that, and then that scab works for you. He makes your shit just continually craft and whatnot. I think it would be cool, right? Like, why not?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a make sense solution. You could have a little scav companion. With why is that so funny?
A little buddy.
Little
Dobby.
buddy.
You'll call him Dobby. Come here, Dobby.
Having your little scav on a leash down in the hideout.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ.
You just get weird now,
we're
bro.
getting into
Yes, master. I
And
will.
TOS.
on the more accurate to realism hitboxes for armor plates and stuff. I think that would also add more to more skills for players to develop both the shooter in the situation and the one getting shot. So if you can line up your shot to come in right underneath the arm, for example, on the side, then that's not going to hit a plate. So it gives the
I love that.
shooter.
I love that.
It gives the shooter more options, which is a skill that people would have to develop. But then also, if you're the one getting shot at in a firefight, it will add an element that you need to learn and adjust to and get used to on how you face your targets, like squaring up with your target to get your largest armored section, your actual main plate, facing the enemy. So
That's right.
it'll
That's
add
how you
more
teach.
danger for side strafing and running perpendicular to your target.
Yeah, because CQB, for those that are aware, is obviously taught you're facing the enemy. You face your body armor plate towards the enemy. You do sideways on, you're gonna get around the side of you. It's gonna penetrate back and forth and fuck you up entirely. I think the plate itself's interesting. I think there's a plate carriers out there, like I know the one the British Army use has one at the front, one at the back, and 2 on the sides, for example. And you can choose to not have those in. I don't know why you would do that, but if you remove, say, the side ones, you would weigh less. Then you'd have more ergonomics, for example. I was watching a minute ago as well on Nikita's stream this morning, or from there today. Then they're introducing leg armor into the game, which is
Damn it.
Oh my god.
now. When I say leg armor, it looks like, from looking at it, it's covering the quads only. It can't be ballistic protection. It's be fragmentation protection, I suggest. It has to be free moving. And if it is a thing, obviously, if you wear like EOD suit, for example, that is ballistic protection. But that's like you're fucking Michelin man. You can't bloody move. So it's going to have a drastic effect on ergonomics, and it probably be tier 2 protection, I'm guessing. But yeah, it's showing the front legs being protected.
So it's going to keep scavs from legging you with shotguns. That's pretty much their goal. But it better slow your ass down a lot.
Yeah,
because that's
it's a
really
good thing.
fucking annoying.
Yeah.
It's going to be horrendous. I've got a message for Profit from a fan. They say, can your in-game item, your streamer item, could it be an armored groin cup?
An armored.
Those are
groin
called
cup.
dick flaps, brother, and they only protect shrapnel.
Listen, those things exist. They're called nappies. The
Combat nappy.
hate I use that shit. Blast protection, buddy. Come for yourself.
There you go.
I mean,
said
what's
it.
the reason behind that? Is there a reason behind it?
Behind what? The groin protection.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not
worried
gonna
about
ask.
your groin, bro.
It would be a dolphin on your groin.
It was devious.
Yeah.
Devious
of course
says
it
about
is.
the groin cup. Anyway, moving on from the groin cup.
Let's move on from that,
Let's
yeah.
move on from that one. So we've got the addition of new low penetration 7.62 NATO/308 rounds, and the M80 penetration nerf, which can be rolled in. Guys, what do you think to the new the scabs not shredding us as much with M61?
I think it's about time. Scav should not have had M61
Love it.
from the
Love it.
full stop. They really shouldn't have.
Yeah, that ain't a hunting round. Not sure why they had it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You still obviously get the M61 though when you scab in with
The M700.
R700, yeah.
700, yeah, or R700, sorry, which is a bit of a funny thing to get still. I think again it's a balancing thing, isn't it? It will change and change. You get change. I hope they will move that from player scabs having that ammo at the start.
But at least you're not getting one tapped through class 5 by a hunter versus scav no more.
Yeah, hopefully those player scabs aren't as good of a shot. So we're all
Yeah.
all right.
Well, they kind of counter it with the TAC 30, which is like a really bad scope in this game.
True.
It's nice and clear.
It's alright.
It's fuck huge.
There's this
That's
sense,
fucking.
the sensitivity on it though is so
Dude, you
broken.
can't even see your target. There's so much red.
Mate, I got my furthest shot ever with the TAC 30. You take that back.
Wasn't that
You
a
know what's
video?
funny actually? Today I killed 2 guys with thermal and everything, level 6 armor, actually a Ford armor, with an single M61 round. So I don't know if it's just critting a lot or what it is, but this morning I definitely one had on fucking Ford armor and then the other had on Gen 4, a full or not a full, but what's the other one? The assault. And I one tapped both of them with a single chest shot, and it just blew my mind. I was like,
They could have
why are
they could have
dying?
already
What-
been hurt
yeah,
though.
what
by
blew
other
my mind
scabs
yesterday-
or
Yeah.
There's
Players.
that, and there is the.
yeah.
It was the start of the raid, though.
fragmentation chance.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it had to be fragment chance, but 2 in a row? Like that just seemed
Yeah,
like
but I don't get.
Hey, also,
Hey, also,
Yesterday I
Willis-
was playing streaming.
How you
I
doing,
was
Will?
shooting unarmored scabs. It was taking me 5 shots with M62. I ran into a team of 3, and I one tapped every single one of them with full armor with the M62. But yeah, unarmored scabs, it's like taking 5 or 6, 7 shots
Yeah.
to kill them.
Well, you're
It's,
not taking into effect
why?
the amphetamines that scabs are on.
I mean, that's,
Fucking combat stims.
It's
Yeah.
going back to in reality, not saying it wouldn't hurt. It's going to hurt quite a bit when the ballistic stops in the body. The full transfer energy is taking place, full damage when the ballistic goes through and through. I don't know. Is that actually in game? I always
No,
say
it's
this
not.
from
Yeah, but
my stuff.
from
It's not
taking
in-game.
4 shots to kill a scab to one
It's
tapping,
bullshit. It's
each
bullshit.
person in a team of 3. It's
I need,
Tarkov,
mate.
man.
I need
Yeah.
to see this.
Tarkov.
This is a thing that pops up in chat all the time, and I'm sure you guys have spoken about it as well. Overpen. We need. What? I'm gonna write a letter, man, to Nikita and say,
yeah. We need
Nikita-
to know if it's an actual thing or not.
Nikita Senpai, this is happening in chat. Everyone's asking about overpen. For me personally, my theory on this overpen phenomenon, guys, I think we're hitting people in the arms and the hands. Okay, if you imagine someone's got their weapon trained up, okay, head ducked down, okay, you think you're hitting them in the head, obviously sight over bore and all that. I think majority of the time we're hitting people in the hands, hitting people in the arms. Like it's a meme at the moment. Like we say in our chat about people having class 7 arms. Like their arms are is the new type of body armor. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't done enough digging on this topic, but I think it would be quite cool to find out if once and for all is overpen a thing in Tarkov. We need to find out, like, because it is smashing my head to bits.
It's doing my if through. I don't know. It's doing my head in as well.
I mean,
It just really
I
is.
think the overpen idea just comes from the 2 stats from every round, the penetration stat and the damage stat. So if you're hitting somebody with a high penetration round that has low damage, and they don't have good armor, it's gonna say screw the armor because we don't care. We didn't, our penetration was so far above that armor class that it doesn't matter. We neutralize the armor easily, and then we're only gonna do that small amount of damage that round has.
But what people
that's
are
how it would
saying-
make most sense to me.
What people are saying is people are saying overpen on people's heads. Obviously, to kill a PMC with a headshot, you need to deal 35 damage or more direct damage, right? So what people are saying is, and I think it's a hit reg issue personally. I'm not 100% sure, but people are saying the overpen is taking place when you're engaging people and hitting them in the head, okay, because the round is not doing its full amount of damage due to having too high penetration. As far as I'm aware, this phenomenon isn't actually programmed into the damage algorithms and the formulae or whatever. It's just, I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on it off the top of my head, because it's something that people are talking about a lot. It's like, oh, it's just overpen. It's one of those throwaway things that people are saying at the moment. Oh, it's just overpen. That's why you didn't kill him, or
It's certainly a thing in real life. The round going through and through, and not fragmenting, going straight through. You're going to survive that if it hasn't hit a critical organ or something. So that is a true thing. Whether it is in game, not sure. Have you noticed ever, like someone chat to me now, that they've shot someone in the head before, in fact a minute ago, and the round went through the back of the head, allegedly hit the window, broke behind them. So have you noticed rounds penetrating the body and leaving marks on the wall behind somebody in the game as well? Do rounds keep on going through a body?
Yeah, it's client side, isn't it? It's client side.
Yeah, I mean,
the blood and
I'm
stuff.
doing a lot of factory night runs to farm the scavs, and sometimes I need like 2 or 3 bullets to the head before they drop dead, and you literally see the bullet hole in their Ushank after the first hit damage, but they're just moving on like nothing happened.
They absolutely travel through, because I've gotten a collateral before. So, I mean, that in itself means that the bullet travels through. But like Dan was saying, what the hell's up with their arms then? So it can travel through their head, but it can't travel through their arms and kill them in the chest? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's something very funky happening, I think. And I think it would be nice to get some sort of clarification from the devs, just to say, once and for all, guys, this is what's happening. If it's not doing the damage that it's supposed to, then it's this issue, or if it's not doing any damage, then it's hit reg, etc. Like, we all know the issues with hit reg, etc.
So you're literally saying that the arm will protect you the entire time. Hits the arm, it's only damaging the arm, nothing else behind that.
It's all just running around like this.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Rolling
I
around.
missed that.
Sometimes feels that way, but like I say, this is something that we can investigate further. So
There's 5 of us here. We could go.
we're just going as a 5-man, do it now.
Factory Mythbusters.
Exactly.
Mythbusters podcast.
Shotgun ammo, guys.
I'd be curious to know if the high pen rounds still retain that same level of penetration after it, say, passes through the arm or passes through someone else's head, because after making contact with anything, the round's going to deform. And mushroom, if you will. And so, if I shoot somebody with 995 or M61 in the arm and it passes through their arm into their chest, is it going to still have the same characteristics and attributes as when I fired the round?
My understanding so far, it does reduce damage. So, like, if you shoot through a window sometimes, or you shoot through, remember if you used to shoot through the chain link fencing, shit like that, it considered a pen. So it will pen. It does reduce damage, but I don't know if it does reduce penetration.
Sure.
I mean, if
So that would
anything,
be
it should
something to test.
probably hold damage. It should probably hold its same damage and reduce pen.
Yeah,
I agree.
If you could only pick between the two options, I think that would be more realistic. But obviously, that's the call of the developers.
I mean, it also depends where you got hit on the body. I mean, no matter how high the pen value is on AP bullet and how less the flesh damage is, a headshot is a headshot. Like, if your brain is fucked, it's fucked. You're dead.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
It's
Cool.
a different thing if you get shot in the leg, shoulder, or arms, right?
Even the shittiest pistol bullet should one tap in the head.
Yep.
If there's no face shield.
Yep.
100%. 100%.
Oh, I can't wait till knocking out comes in, or being unconscious. Oh my god, pistols are gonna be OP as fuck at that point, because you're gonna get knocked out all the time.
Fucking tranquilizer guns.
No more fucking face shields.
Exactly. Shotgun ammo, guys. Shotgun ammo for 12 gauge and 20 gauge. What's your opinion on the, let's say, for example, the AP20 for the 12 gauge, and of course the Devastator slug and ammo such as? Do you think that the new shotgun ammo has took the edge off a little bit these shotgun tasks that we've been doing lately?
Definitely,
I love
yes.
it.
Yeah, it helped. The AP ammo definitely helped with the shotgun task, definitely.
I
But
also
became-
other than that
briefly
task, I've not really used shotguns. Still not used them.
I
Have you
became
seen
an
somebody-
absolute hitter with that gun? Thermal, nighttime, AP20s, or the copper slug ones. I was sniping 100-meter plus, killing people, headshots. It was nasty. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Have you
definitely
guys saw
viable.
that Saiga now? The Saiga 12 with the big drum mag. And if you have full recoil reduction, like I think Ghost Freak was the one showing, and you fully mod the weapon, It is ridiculous. The thing is a laser beam with AP-20 ammo, and it's like it's fucking stupid.
It is a cheeky weapon.
Yeah. Also, the flechette ammo is quite powerful.
Yes, I agree, Tack.
Incredibly rips. Even gear guys, like, dude.
It's been shredding
I
armor,
disagree.
isn't it?
Yeah, I disagree with that though.
No face shield will save him, dude. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's a lot better, in my opinion, than the
10 meters away though.
You've
10
got to
meters
be
away,
close
and it's
to use
completely it's ridiculous. It's useless.
But yeah,
Like,
you have that like that burst, that circular burst, to rely on. Rather, like me personally, I can't land a slug. Like it doesn't matter if he's a foot away or 100 meters. Like I can't land a slug. But the Magnum buckshot, the new Magnum, and the Lachey, dude, woo! Try it. It's cheaper too. It's a lot cheaper.
Actually, other than the tests, I've not really used shotguns. So
Fair
I
point.
like that they not only that they just added all the ammo, but like, last patch it was just HKs, SA58s, M4s only. But now like people can choose, like they have all these cool submachine guns, like the P90, MP7. They can choose what kind of weapon mastery they want to level rather than everybody just doing assault rifle. And I think that's really cool because now my shotgun, I don't even use them that much, but it's the highest it's ever been in any of the patches I played because of the ammo. I got more into it, so gives you more of like a specialized way you want to play.
Yeah, choice is always good in games. I think we can all agree on that. Right. What do we think, guys? This is the one. Those of you that are looking at the itinerary.
fucking thermals.
The big T7, guys. What's your opinion? Just go for
Let's
it.
hear yours, Dan.
Uh,
yours is as strong as
I
mine.
don't-
This is your favourite, dude. No, it's go for it.
Mate, I don't want to talk about.
Preach.
I'll be against TOS if I say what I think about that thing. I think thermal sight is more than enough in my opinion. The T7 is just like, yes, it's a great idea. I think it shows what the devs are capable of. It's like, hey, look what we can do. Look at the amazing things we can do. Yes, I agree. I think it's awesome. However, from a gameplay perspective, especially since it went down in price, I think the price has got a lot to do with it, and it did go stupid cheap after the drops event, so it can't really be, held against its price at the moment. But I think just as an item, just as a thing that exists in Tarkov, I think the T7 is. I think it's I can't even find the words to describe it because I've used it for one raid and I've just felt disgusting using it. As soon as I finished with it, I was like, guys, gave it away. I ain't using this.
I mean, the thing that I see with the T7 is at the moment, as it is in its current state, it's OP. But I mean, I've been the Tom Commander. I've looked through thermal sights quite a lot as a gunner. If they make it more realistic, because the way you're looking through the thermal scope is not realistic at all. You don't have that clear picture where you clearly see black and white and some movement behind the bushes. It's always a little bit blurry. You always have a little bit of interference going on if you look through that. I mean, if they adapt it to more of a realistic look, I think it can work pretty nicely into the game because it's not that much overpowered as it is at the current state.
And talking about realism, so I don't know if you guys know this, but as it currently stands, thermals in general in Tarkov are not realistic. Big surprise. So one, you can see through all these bushes and trees that aren't rendering. So like when you're not ADSing, that's the same thing that the thermals can see through. So when you ADS and all those bushes and stuff render and appear, that is what. So for some reason, the thermals can see through that. So they need to fix that for one. Make this shit render so you can't see through 25,000 bushes and kill a guy 700 meters away or whatever the fuck that's going on. However, the biggest thing that I think they can do to make thermals much less OP is in real life, you cannot look through a window with a thermal. It just doesn't work. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched like some of this stuff online. I went actually on stream one day because we were talking about it, and I was like, it can't see through windows because infrared radiation is what it's detecting, right? Mm-hmm. The window has its own infrared signature, therefore it can't see through it. All you would see is just like a blank thing, like a shitty old game that has those little shitty windows that you can't actually see through. That's what you would see. Therefore, there could be somebody on the other side of it staring at you and murder you because you're trying to use thermals in like a urban environment, which shouldn't happen, right? So I think they need to add in that, and then make the windows render from farther than like 20 feet away. So
Kiba glass is like that. Have you ever gone inside Kiba and looked out of it with the thermal? It's like that. It's one of the only glasses in the game that you can't use a thermal with. But he's right. All the other glasses should be programmed like that.
I think the thermal itself dictates higher tier meta gameplay now, and especially as a team as well. When you start using the thermal, and if you don't use the thermal, you're playing the game wrong right now, really, because you're massive advantage. I try not to use it. I have never used T7 myself. I think it looks awful.
Same.
But I use thermals quite. No, I never had them. Also, the value of it, 12 mil, or it's now what 8 mil now.
6 mil.
It's kind of crazy expensive. But look at the other thermals, weapon-mounted sights ones, the Fleur and the other one, I forget what it's called now.
The Reaper.
200k,
Reaper
100k, and they weren't that much more than that before the drops event. And they will always be that cheap because you find them quite commonly in Kiba as well. And the resale on the flea market drives the price down because it's so damn common. For me, you need to make it rarer, found in raid only, and rare as shit. And then people want to bring them out, I suppose, but you'll find teams bringing them out potentially, where you got a chance to get your gear ditched and survival rating increasing.
I think one of the other biggest issues is optical focus. All right, so if you have your thermals focused out to, say, 50 meters or 100 meters or out to infinity, and you try an ADS on your iron sights, they're going to be blurry and out of picture. That is to say, if you can even get your head cranked down below those low iron sights. So on an AK, that would be near impossible because of how low the iron sights sit to the weapon itself. On maybe an M4, where you have a little bit of a natural rise on your iron sights, it might be a little easier, but even then, those things would be blurry, out of focus, and you would have a hell of a hard time trying to see through them. That's just for the T7 in particular. Now, as for thermal optics, like Gunvash mentioned earlier, they are incredibly unrealistic in the way they look through glass, the way they see perfect, or kind of like what Takala said, with how they see perfectly through bushes. There's no real interference. There's no blurriness. There's no good level of gradient between the environment around you and a heat signature. It's either a person or like a fire or a generator or something very warm, or it's dark. There needs to be more of a gradient. There needs to be no weird little like refresh rate line going over like it used to. There's no low FPS thermal optic that I'm aware of on the market out there, at least today.
They fixed the Reaper.
Age. Yeah, they did fix
it. I mean, completely fucking broke it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally think it kind of takes away from what Tarkov is supposed to be. I think if they were to keep thermals in the game in any way, it could be something like the T7 that you could wear on your helmet and flip down like nods, or like the head-mounted binocular that it is, but you can't shoot through it. So you can flip it down to scan, and then you can flip it up again when you want to shoot. Or a handheld binocular that you can pull up, look through, and then put down again after you've found your targets and scope in on them with a normal sight.
A way to combat thermals as well, obviously most modern day uniform is thermal protection as well. It hides your thermal signature, like most multicam stuff and clothing does that, and obviously more advanced stuff does the same thing. So all that will be shown really is probably your face, and that's it, because most soldiers and the guys in the game as well, they're wearing gloves, they're wearing full trousers and body coverage. So the only thing that's going to show really, in addition to that, is camouflage. Wearing cam cream on your face and stuff also hides thermal signature fraction, so that could be a way to combat it.
What about
on a permanent basis?
That infrared balaclava, man. That's what I wear them anyway, dude.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Snap.
I got a whole stash.
I literally have like a huge portion of
Wear it
my
off
stash that is
stream.
fucking face
Jeez. Jeez. Right, good stuff, man. This is great, guys. I'm glad that you I'm glad we all sort of, I think everybody, it's like I think everybody sort of sees it the same way. They're in the game, they're fair. Why not use them if you want to get that advantage? They're there to be used, to be fair, But I think I think a little bit of all of us on the inside feels a little bit dirty using thermals. Maybe, I don't know. Like they are cheap, very very cheeky. You know what I'm saying? Very very cheeky. So very good. Now, what do you think to the new map, guys? Reserve, the military base that we've been enjoying. How do you think it fits in with the rest of the maps? Like, how does it sit in the lineup so far? What kind of gameplay opportunities can be had there? And why is that damn alarm so loud? Why is that still a thing? Come on.
Oh my god.
Llama.
Best map in Tarkov, hands
because
down.
of that, by the way. Because of that fucking alarm, I will not play it because it literally gives me a headache.
They shortened it. They shortened it by about a minute and a half.
Have they?
It's nice because you don't hear the noise as much, but you have to get out in a shorter amount of time. So when you press the button and run for Hermetic Bunker, it used to be
Scabs
about
are back,
5
guys.
minutes. Now it's like 3.5 minutes that you got. So it's kind of a give and take, but I love it. It's a fucking snipe map. It is a close quarter combat map. I love that they brought a boss. I think every map should have a boss. I love it. My favorite map, hands down.
All the would-be snipers in the game think they're the pro sniper teams that they will sit on top of the high ground. It's like the first thing I'll check is up there. Oh look, there's a player there. You're dead. See you later. And it's a good gameplay because you can flank them easily, go underground. There's lots of different gameplay styles that Ats is saying there. CQB, long range, medium range. It's good. I think it has the biggest floor space map in the game. So you might think it's not a big map, but I think it's the biggest map in the game.
It's fucking massive.
Yeah, if you
It's huge.
unpack it, it is absolutely disgustingly big. It's crazy. It's amazing.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
and
there's
it
rooms I've never even been in.
doesn't run the best, but I think it's rendering everything, isn't it? It's coping with that.
There's a lot.
Yeah, wait, hold on. What about Factory with the boss? Somebody. In the
So
chat.
my idea for Factory is they're working on a riot shield, right? What if he has like some kind of riot shield
stop,
Glock 18
stop.
combo, right? He's a riot shield Glock 18 boss that moves slow, but come on, that's badass.
Think of boss
the only thing
accuracy,
being,
though.
the
He would
riot-
fucking shred everybody.
The
The
riot
thing is, Battlestate already announced that they're going to rework the factory map and they want to make it a little bit bigger. If the map is bigger, I have no issue with a boss. But at the current size, a boss wouldn't make much sense in my
You
opinion.
run out your spawn, you'll get tired.
You get 5-man teams just playing Factory even more and more and more, farming boss scav. That's it.
Yeah.
Shit on that poor bastard by himself and all the scavs and 5-man.
Well, he would have to be really. He would have to be really hard, to be honest with you, because of that reason there. But then that would also make the tasks like kill people with pistols and shit, and kill people at the office, absolutely toxic. So
You also got to keep in mind that scavs aren't the most intelligent things. At medium range open ground, they'll fuck your shit up. But if any door collision effect occurs, you can cheese all scavs in this game, unfortunately. And you get stuck on doors and stuff, and you can do it in the Mantis, for example. So they have to work on their CQB collision with the Scab boss, because you could probably cheese in way too easily on the map like Factory. And this
Yeah,
grenade
they
storm
should
would be
take
dead.
some of that programming from the Raiders on Reserve, because those are the most in-depth Raiders. They actually have tactics programmed into them and like the way they move.
Yeah.
And they
They feel
each have their
different, don't
own position. They are. It's awesome. It's awesome. There's stormtroopers and there's like Gluhar's guards, and they all have different personalities. It's really cool.
I was kill one of them. One of the fuckers, they ran from bottom floor, I was outside, and went to a higher floor and fucking zeroed me because I was laying prone on the ground.
Oh my god.
He just killed me. I was like, what the fuck? So they flanked me. So they can do that. They can do that.
that's probably the exact sound that he made too.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
I was more. Oh yeah, I'll leave it there. Leave it there. Non-toxic streamer. Non-toxic streamer.
Speaking about Factory, for those of you that caught Raid episode 3, we saw a little bit of the. Well, we know where Factory is anyway, like geographically speaking. But we did see in Raid episode 3, no spoilers, but there is a external area, so to speak. I think Factory, moving back to that expansion idea, I think Factory would definitely benefit from like an outside. Imagine Factory is like, I don't know, you've got Factory and then potentially a decent sized area around it as well.
Yeah.
I think that would be absolutely awesome.
Like
And
a center complex area.
Yeah.
Horseshoe effect of factories and stuff.
yeah, imagine the Factory fully realized within another environment. Do you know what I'm saying? And everything's the same. You've got your entrances. So rather than exiting at gate 3 or gate 0 or whatever, and cellars and stuff, I mean, the cellars you could go cellars, open the door up, and then head out, and then it leads to like an outsidey bit, and then you could run around out there. And I think factory would definitely, because everyone spawns inside the factory. I think it would be great if with factory, it could be sort of expanded, and you actually, let's say, spawn outside, and you need to get into the factory. If you want to go into the factory, maybe there's activities to be enjoyed on the outside as well. I don't know, but I think I really love that idea of a factory expansion for sure.
Definitely needs it. I might play it then.
Yeah, for real.
I don't like the way EU servers play factory. Just it's really not fun at all.
What do your guys do? They're just sitting in corners.
Yeah, literally just in corners the whole time.
Oh, we're talking about labs now?
We're
Oh,
you
okay.
only want
No, in factory. I mean, I don't play labs neither because of that reason. I don't have the patience for someone that can sit there in a corner for 40
Dude,
minutes.
you got to just
let
turn
you
on
do all the work.
Netflix and watch a show like they do. And then,
Yeah,
I can't.
and then
I
they're
don't
like,
have the
oh
patience
shit,
for
pause
it.
Netflix, Jimmy. There's someone coming. Then they
No,
fucking
it's
kill
like
you and then
that.
turn Netflix back on.
I don't get how someone can spend like $150 to sit in a corner for 40 minutes. I don't get it.
You make a good point. But
Well, they spent $150 to sit in a corner for like 7 weeks because over time they just build up that time.
exactly.
That's just my opinion on maps like that. It's just I always get the shitty ones. You're either full geared 5-man, absolutely storming through factory, or you get the solo players with pistols sat in the dark corner. That's all I seem to get.
I miss Taw going into factory. That was so nice. Just murder all 5 of them. It was fantastic.
What's next on the agenda?
We have got the Hideout. Okay, so a couple of topics from the Hideout. So, favorite crafting options. What are you guys crafting? I think we touched on that earlier with the ammo. We've got what are your opinions on the length of time to craft and upgrade things? So, for example, let's say you want to upgrade the, I think it was Bitcoin farm level 3. Perhaps it was 72 hours or something absolutely ridiculous. I can't remember, but 72 real life hours to upgrade something in the Hideout. What are your opinions on that sort of thing? And out of raid treatment of your character. So obviously persistent health, there's going to be ailments, toxicity, probably CBRN threats, so biological, radiological, nuclear, chemical, all that sort of thing. We've seen the little icons in offline mode and stuff like that. So what do you think to the Hideout, guys? Now we're a couple of months in to maxing them out, etc.
I think it's the way forward. It's the way it's
Yeah.
going to go. I think
Love
it's the
it.
reduction of things in the marketplace or increased value, and you're going to see more things being built in your Hideout. Most definitely, I like the fact you can build stuff. It rewards you for getting things in raid, bringing them out, making those rounds so you can bring them into that first mag of MI5 in your rifle. Good to go. I think it's become a more common thing you're going to see in the game. I hope it is personally, because I think it's a good move.
It's like
Yeah.
dude. I don't know the English term for that, but literally translated, it's like a golden donkey, dude. You can make so much money out of the Hideout. I mean, sure, you invest quite a lot, but the amount of money you make, along with the Bitcoin farm, is insane. The moonshine sells pretty nicely. Also, that you can break down components. I really like that fact to get yourself new crafting materials. It's just amazing. Really, really love it.
Yeah, Tarkov needed something like the Hideout to just refresh it a little bit.
I really like the library and the intel, like how they passively increase or reduce things.
Yeah.
Like for the library, for example, group of skills leveling boost 30%, additional experience 15%. That's awesome. And then the intel center, like, so we're not getting crushed with scabs as much, but if they get this up, this cooldown is reduced by 35%. Insurance return time -20%. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, the Hideout was a good addition, very good
The
addition.
thing that I'm asking myself, what is planned since you can install like a secure door, right, or a security system? Are there going to be any AI opponents or PMCs raiding your Hideout?
I don't think so, but I think it's more of a passive, like, what's the point upgrading all this stuff, getting a Bitcoin farm if your front door is a bit of cardboard?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I think it's just a immersion RPG.
But that's something that
might be.
I mean, that's something I would love, for instance, I mean, we have been talking about daily quests and so on. Like a daily event where your hideout is going to get stormed by scavs and you have literally to defend it. I would love to see something like that and get a reward for it.
That
And the
might come
lower
with
your
open world,
security,
though.
the more it happens.
Yeah,
That-
exactly. For instance.
It might come with open world. We don't know if they're still going open world, for one, and two, how they're going to implement the hideout with open world.
I hope they don't.
So in regards to missions and stuff, a bit off topic, and trades and things, you're gonna have to go into in the future into customs, then meet Prepor, complete your purchase. He'll courier your shit to your hideout and stuff. That's gonna happen. That is planned. Whether or not your hideout's going to persist somewhere in the map as well, I don't know. I don't think I mentioned that before, but certainly the traders being in maps is going to happen, at least. And to what extent open world's going to be, there's worries about that actually happening. Whether you're going to a door, loading screen, going to like a new map, or would it be fluid? I don't think the engine can carry the fluidity of moving to map to map.
That's like the thing that they want to do with labs. So as I understand it, the way in the future that you're entering labs would be you're going into the map like Escape from Tarkov itself, Streets of Tarkov. Now Streets of Tarkov, and somewhere you're finding the entrance, then you have to enter labs, do the raid there, and then move back to Streets of Tarkov in order to extract.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, that's the way that they want labs to work in the future.
Yeah.
Isn't the entrance to labs the hermetic door in reserve?
That's one of them. They said that there's going to be like 3 different entrances to labs in one of the podcasts. They said that the Streets of Tarkov is going to have one.
Gotcha.
I think there's also one on one of our maps we have now. I can't remember where. I think it's the factory. The red light door at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one too.
I think in addition to the hideout, as that was our topic anyway, now you can make on the workbench. I think it'd be really cool to have like a reloading bench to reload ammunition types to further increase. You have to get the parts again breaking down. Reload ammo. I think that's a really good part. What was I going to say? Armor, fixing armor and stuff. Whether you can fix your own armor by collecting and breaking down other armors or parts in game, or nuts and bolts and stuff. Because right now, nuts and bolts don't actually have a proper tangible use. You can trade them in for things, I suppose, but it's not actually fixing your armor, which you probably couldn't do if you smelted it down, I suppose. But you know what I mean? That those sort of things might come more and more useful, I think.
Awesome. What about off-raid healing, guys? What do you think to that? How's that affected the game? How does it affect new players? How does it affect veterans? And how does it affect economy?
It's grown on me a lot. I didn't like it at first, but it has grown on me a lot. It's a nice, very nice addition. Like, because you're not just gonna come straight out and then, all right, reload that mag and go straight out again, are you? If you've been shot at all day, and you're gonna be like, you're gonna need like refreshing. Like you're gonna need water, food.
In your bed space with nice space on the wall.
Yeah, you're gonna need something like that.
You have it too.
So
have you been to your bed yet?
Oh, I know.
Go to your bed in the hideout. You got one.
Yeah.
But no,
I don't mind it now either. I think that at the start I forgot to heal like 4 times. I died twice because of it, but like it's not so bad. I think the thing that annoyed me the most before I maxed out my hideout was eating and drinking. Now that I maxed out my hideout, I don't notice it nearly as bad, but I forget to eat and drink all the fucking time. I've even got a chat command now because I always forget. And I think that it's just really tedious, but I think you're right. It does add to the lore.
I think the hydration thing is too effective in game anyway. You lose it too quickly. The healing thing is not an issue at all for people like us, but brand new players who are finding it hard to make money in the game, that's going to hit them quite hard. They spend all their money trying to get meds, trying to heal, because they're dying every game. They don't know where to find the medication yet. They're lucky to find it. They spend all their money probably on medication and buying Makarov pistols and hatcheting runs. So I think once you get past that point, you're fine. But literally, it's half those guys.
You said that you think the hydration goes down too fast?
I think you could argue it could do.
Well, I mean, just
raid. Yeah.
Military guys, like, think back. Like, think about doing like a gun run or on a range or something. Like, even if you're only advancing 300 meters, fully kitted, you know, it's the amount of sweat. Like, people don't understand. Like, the amount of sweat pouring in your body and the pain that you're in and like the fucking fatigue. I think it's pretty realistic. Like, because you're only in, you know, you get dropped up by helicopter, you're in interchange for 50 minutes or whatever. I don't know. I think it's pretty fucking ridiculous. If you're running around and shit, I think it should affect it more, like sprinting, jumping, all that stuff. But if you're just walking slowly, but I think it's in a good place because a lot of these places you can find water. It just makes it another factor in this hardcore game, that I like.
Yeah.
I like it personally.
So
I
that's the
love
thing
going to someone's stream and watching them die of dehydration or something. It's so
about-
fucking awesome.
Sadist.
I mean,
It shouldn't
what
happen.
what
It
I
shouldn't
what I
happen.
would like to see is like more of an adaptive way that how food and water works. Like lower the regular consumption, but as soon as you start sprinting or using that stamina, increase the consumption. So it's up to the player, and you really have to think a little bit in advance. Do you want to sprint all the time? Do you want to keep food with you, or do you want to walk on a regular pace in order to not need that much stuff, right?
Yeah, I think
That's
that's great. Having more dynamic hydration and
Yeah.
energy usage. Yeah, for sure. And I can imagine that's something that will be implemented. That makes absolutely perfect sense in my opinion. Cool. Yeah, people in the chat are also saying that new players are getting absolutely destroyed with the off-raid healing. I mean, it's what? 3, let's say the cost of 3 AI2s. So 10 grand to fully heal after a raid if you die. I mean,
Better bring in a pistol.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 grand to fully heal, and that's without finding once you start getting stuff like the Grizzly is absolutely incredible in terms of efficiency in off-raid healing. So for example, chat told me a while back, hey Dan, try using the Grizzly. You get 1800 in a Grizzly, and it costs so much. So the Grizzly, as far as I'm aware, gives you the most cost-effective hit points, like health points, for what you get. Does that make sense?
It
So
also will fix fractures instantly too out
Yeah.
of raid.
very, very true.
Yeah, I do. I keep like 4 grizzlies in my stash the whole time. For when I come out of raid, just right click, heal all, done.
Yeah,
Same here.
the Grizzly is absolutely
pretty smart.
fantastic. So guys, if you're not using Grizzlies in the stash, go and do it.
With the med station, I found, at least coming in as an experienced player, however new, right? Because I started 6 weeks late. I didn't really have an issue at all with off-raid healing or having enough heals because it's super easy with the med station. Like you can make Salewas in 5 minutes, just like click, 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 and you're good.
Yeah, 2 AI2s for a slew, in it.
I think they actually got rid of that. Yeah, they did.
That was one of the things I was talking about. I woke up and then the next day, one of my favorite crafting things were just gone. No word,
Yeah, it's the same with the AVS plate carrier. One day you could buy it, next day you could only trade for the shampoo.
Yeah, that annoys me. That.
By the
So
way,
I was using the AVS the whole time.
on
I mean,
meds,
it would be nice to get like Twitter updates at a minimum for all these like small changes, but at the same time, it could potentially hinder their progress. They're able to make all these minor tweaks at a moment's notice, and I think that is a good thing for the game as a whole. It's a little annoying for us, but the game just never stops changing and stops rolling and stops improving.
I
because
agree.
of that at the
Yeah,
same
but you just
time.
shoot
Yeah.
a text and then make a tweet. It takes about 30 seconds. And they
Well,
have
it's-
a person that's
Nikita-
paid to just do social media.
Nikita basically said they're not going to announce these small changes because they want to have play discovered by themselves.
they said they wanted to be
they're
discovered
doing-
by
yeah.
itself.
They're doing this on purpose, actually.
Yeah, and that they wanted it to simulate as if like the traders were actually changing their stuff based on some in-world event, which they could actually just announce that event too, like why this is happening. Maybe there's a drought.
That would be
and
cool,
now
yeah.
Water's super fucking
There you go.
expensive, right?
There you go.
Like,
Yeah.
why not, right?
Dynamic trader events, not just at the end of a wipe and saying everything's super cheap, etc. It's like, there's been a shortage of this, or there's been a shortage of that. Peacekeeper, maybe, and this is just my brain going all crazy right now and creative, but let's say, for example, a global event. So, let's say scavs have taken over whatever on this map, a supply route or a main, a main supply route, whatever. Globally, kill 100,000 scavs as a
Hell
player
yeah.
base
I would love that.
to get water back into the economy, or to get the food or whatever. Imagine events like this. You wake up one day, you fire Tarkov up, guys, PMCs, this has happened. This is what you need to do as a full as a full player base. Do you know what I mean?
Or as Bear and as USEC or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Plus be against each other, so we can stick with that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like anything like that would be absolutely awesome, and I think it'd be fantastic to have more dynamic events in the game. But that's just me going, off on a tangent there, thinking about exciting things.
Hey man, the more lore they can create, the better the game is, because it's an RPG, and I don't want them to, leave that to the wayside to create other stuff. Up, who are we getting joining?
We've got militia.
Oh,
When it works.
He's upset.
I saw this
not
coming.
using
What's
the,
going on?
Capture. This mission's inbound.
player 8 has joined the game.
Now I've got to move my in-game capture.
Just keeping you guys guessing. It's been perfect at the start of the stream having this. I could have captured everything and be really good, but yeah. it's one of
It
those
would
things.
seem I don't have a camera.
You have to share camera, bud.
It's just a voice.
A voice in the dark.
Yeah.
What is next
turn
on
on
the,
screen share.
On the topics?
The next topic that we're going to be jumping onto, guys, and we're probably about 3/4 of the way through, is character customization. So this is something that we wanted for a long time, to be able to customize our characters. It's an RPG. A lot of people have argued, hey, why do we need character customization in a first-person game? It's all in the mission statement. It's all in the vision from BSG. It is an RPG. It's a role-playing game. Customizing your character through gear, through cosmetics, clothing, face, maybe hair in the future. Hey, there he is.
There he is.
Ugly
What's
bastard.
going on, man? Character
I think he's
customization.
handsome.
He looks looking good. He's looking all right. Very nice.
Damn, look at all that G Fuel.
Jeez, man's
That's
got
not
a stash.
a hashtag ad.
Oh yeah, actually.
Sponsored.
You guys might not be able to do this because, Dan is sponsored by someone else, right? So you might want.
Hold on, let me
I'm just gonna have a drink.
let me
Wow.
fix this real quick. I got it. Hold on. There we go. All right. How about that?
There you go. Product placement, mate.
Woo!
I'm gonna have to go on YouTube now and tick that box that says this doesn't contain, or this does contain paid advertising. I'm just gonna have to block it out, block Malicious Cam. Anyway, Militia, great for you to join us.
Hi.
It's been great, guys. For those that don't know, off on a bit of a tangent here. Militia was the one and only who put together all of the sort of overlay stuff that we were working with, the effects and stuff. So we've got a nice little bit.
Wait, does Dan have it working?
I haven't got the overlays, but I've got the dust
For
particles.
fuck's sake,
It's just-
you guys.
Militia, you should have split it and put it
Bust
and
my
put it separately.
fucking balls!
If you
for
turned up,
6 hours
I was the only one that they.
for
If you
fucking
actually-
crying out loud. I knew it was gonna listen. The point I knew it was gonna be a disaster is when I posted it in the Discord and Grandpa Takales was like, I don't know how computers work.
I got it to work. It's really fucking good. The issue was at the
I
start,
even included instructions.
it'll
I might be
very
able to
clear.
do it now. I might be able to do it. Let me.
You have to then spend 5 minutes down capturing each
Oh no,
capture
5
and then
minutes.
dragging it across. I could do it now as well. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Militia should have just split them up and just done it separately for everyone.
I can't be fucked to spend 5 minutes doing something.
It kind of works, but
I wait 15. Oh my god, what happened?
Malicious
I went-
me. Takal's is. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. Don't worry about it.
Hey, my chat is requesting a Grandpa Taculi emote. So they want to
Gray
see
beard.
Grandpa Tack, okay?
Hey, my beard is not even white yet. Come on.
He uses Just for Men.
There you go.
You're dying your
Perfect.
beard Tack. Oh my goodness.
Perfect. Guys, come on. Focus up. We're professionals.
Right, let's go back on.
We're professionals. We are a
This is all I
professional
remember,
stream
Barrett.
team.
Character customization.
Character
Go.
customization professional podcast. Right. So currently we've got a 2-slot system. We've got upper body and lower body. We have heard rumors. BSG have talked about being able to change other elements. So I'm thinking we'll be able to have, let's say, boots and pants.
Gloves.
And then we're going to be having gloves, tops, etc. Eventually, I believe we're going to be having faces. We're going to be having hair, tattoos, facial hair, stuff like that. I think would really enrich the character customization experience. So the big question is, guys, who has the best clothing out of USEC and Bear? Go.
And
Just
I
say.
am pissed because Bear
Obviously, USEC.
Bear.
Bear has the best
Oh,
clothing.
hold on.
Fair.
Oh, I know my
I'm
camera is
team
monochrome and
Bear, it's
everything,
definitely
but
USEC.
which one has the flannel? Remind me. Which one has the flannel?
That is true.
Wait, what the fuck is wrong with his
I
voice?
just like-
Did we already talk about this while I was going to piss?
It's deeper, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
voice is kind of
You're
fucked up, dude.
Yeah, it sounds like...
You guys want
What the fuck?
you want to get a slice of dad real quick?
Are you in transition, militia?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my!
Bully! Bullied him
All
out.
right, now I refuse to come in here.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry,
Hey,
guys.
professional guys, come on.
We all
My
know
face
this-
hurts.
This podcast was probably working great before I came in here. Anyway,
That's
Bear,
very true.
Bear, you guys are out of your minds.
I just like a nice.
Flannel is dope. Flannel
I
is
like-
MVP, but
with the bear.
NW1 Woodland is
Woodland.
probably the thing
Well,
that blends in with the most.
I would like a bear top, like just a blacked out top for the USEC. Something like that.
Look,
Yeah, perfect.
It doesn't matter. You
I'll
don't
take
blend in. I don't care what you wear. You don't blend in. Right
Yeah.
now, I'm wearing
seen the
the
ghosts,
iron
though,
sight
right?
top with the Kyber pants. So I'm wearing the white on the dark. And I swear to God, I've had people stare at me before. So it's not. It just depends
Is it
on what you're
glorious?
at. Because, yeah, I do. Fuck it, man. Wear what you want to wear. But like the thing is, like you blend in with like the very light colored things, like walls and stuff. So if you have this light colored top, it doesn't matter what you wear. You can wear whatever you want. You're not gonna blend in. You're gonna die because I'm gonna kill you.
That's only because he's winning the thermals.
Really,
That's only 'cause
Yeah,
of the thermals.
exactly. You're white. You glow white to me, anyways.
I do
got
like
this.
the PCS multicam top a lot, but there's no pants. The Woodlands are great, but there's no pants for the PCS multicam. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you
That one
can't. You can't
kinda
wear
hurts
mixed
me a little
camo.
bit.
You can't wear
I
a
can't- it looks
multicam
wrong,
top
right?
and a woodland. But you just look like a.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go there. But it doesn't
Yeah,
look good.
I need Scorpion.
It doesn't
Only
look good.
ability is to not wear anything at all. Just go naked, top down, for example. That'd be good.
I'm down for naked. I'm
Yeah.
down. 100%.
Does not
Still
surprise me.
fear in the enemy. They'll see that
100%.
and think, fuck. and
I
run
mean,
away.
what about your nips though?
Tape? Tape.
Pasties.
Okay.
Tape.
What about your shoulders though?
Little-
I mean,
little-
They
remember
don't
little-
even have festive pasties.
Little killer helmet pasties, just right here. And here.
Kill out.
Cool.
Now we're gonna have killer helmet pasties and dolphin cock blocks. So
Nice.
It's
dude.
gonna be
Like
good.
it.
It's
I'll
gonna
tell
be
you what,
good.
Dan, I love how you put
Dan's
this on
like,
the notes
no.
as well.
What's
You
that?
put this in note. Opinions on the close bear face. You said bears better change my mind. I love how you put that on the notes.
Yeah, they're definitely not biased notes.
Yeah, definitely not.
Do you know what I'm saying? Guys, let's move on to the AI. So Scab Bosses,
Mm.
and your experiences with the Scab Bosses so far. Sturman, Glukar, and how the AI Scabs and the normal Scabs are sort of performing at the moment as well. But let's go for the Scab Bosses, guys. What are your experiences with the famous Sturman? How have you managed to fight this guy? Are there any tips and tricks you can share for the community? Or do you just, like me, just avoid him at all costs because he's an aimbotting asshole? What?
That's sniper.
He's an
sniper
aimbot in
guy,
arsehole
right?
with that SVD. That's exactly what
Yeah,
it is.
it's a sniper guy.
One
All right.
Yeah.
Thermals.
what?
Hmm.
Oh, kill him with
Thermals.
thermals. I don't know, man. Like he hides in
Clearly
like the
missed
little
a very
nooks
important
and
part of this
crannies.
discussion.
Well, I'm sorry, but if everybody is fooling themselves that
Super
thermals is the only way to play, you should play another game. I'm just saying.
Sir, we've
What
already
about it?
discussed thermals.
Well, sir, they're in the game, and I'm going to exploit them until they're not in the game anymore.
Welcome to
Fair enough.
Tarkov.
So
Right.
Sturman, yeah, on Woods,
Yeah, just snipe
Woods,
one.
or- yeah, Woods.
No, he's on shoreline.
Hmm.
Street
Thing is that
stuff.
motherfucker, you can use thermals, but he's always stuck behind a hut somewhere, isn't he? You have to get in
Yeah.
very quite close quarter to kill him. It's hard to pinpoint the guy down, and he flanks a lot. Like Ats is saying, like a Scab Boss on reserve, Scab Boss on Woods, he does actually move from position and will flank you. I've seen the guys flank me from, say, the southern edge of that overlook, and he's gone all the way around Dickhead Rock and come behind me and cut me right in the back. So they're a lot better. I think he's better on that map and also reserve, and less static initially, not
Yeah.
initially, but after a while.
No, I like the way where his minions like they won't just run at you in a group; they'll just split off, and one will go one way while it's covering the other one while the boss is pushing you or something. I like the way that they've done that with him.
I was quite surprised actually. Woods. I thought they'd destroy Woods. I thought it would be literally Woods, Mosins, everyone goes center, sits back, snipes, and last man wins and takes the gear. But it hasn't become that way particularly. It kind of has because the added foliage there, it stopped that from happening as much. You can't really
it would
sit
seem
back too
that
far.
that rock, the elongated rock that sits in front of like that sniper scab position that we all know, that elongated rock,
Yeah,
right?
spine
Yeah,
rock.
the spine. I think that's the point of no return with him. Like if you keep that distance, you have a fighting chance. As you push
Yeah.
in closer beyond that, like whatever programming they have for how he aims, you're fucking toast. Just
It's not like a normal scab that just go bang bang. It will go bang 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 like as fast as he can at you.
He'll spam
With
you
a sweaty
down.
round
Yeah.
SVD.
The thing is, though, go ahead.
It's just I think all. I mean, I know we're talking about him specifically, but all the scab bosses, in my experience, have they just need tweaked. They just need tweaked. You know, they just are. Their accuracy is unheard of, especially for the weapon systems that they're using. That SVD, everybody has experience using that, and if you've ever, you know, dealt with that round in any type of capacity, the fact that he can squeeze off a magazine with 100% accuracy with a scope that was made in the 1960s, you can fuck off because that doesn't work that way.
I don't know. In my experience, it seems like he will shoot a little bit faster, but he two taps. Like he'll tap, and then he'll wait a second. And then he'll tap.
Unless he's baiting.
He has a very distinct play style. I think, like, I honestly believe that his guards are even tougher than him. I think those
Probably,
are the ones we're having
see,
problems
probably.
with. The VSSs and those guys that have.
Yeah.
They're
tough.
tricky, man.
That's
They're tough
Yeah.
guys, dude. They've got fantastic camouflage and concealment, and they're quiet and they're disciplined. You know, the first time I started getting engaged, it was just suppressed shots. Like there was no shouting, there was no nothing like that. It was just suppressed shots. The AS Val, that 9x39 round coming in and taking my legs out. I was like, geez, you know. All right,
I
so
would really enjoy to see Sturman up on the spine, like have the woods area be his stomping grounds, and for engagements with him to be at much longer range. Because every time I've ran into him, it was probably within 50 meters, sometimes within 100. But I think, especially given that he has an SVD, I think it would have been a lot cooler to see him out in the woods or up on some rocks or something, up in some high ground. That way you have to worry about him lurking off at a distance instead of, you know, running up to the sawmill and then getting engaged.
The thing that I really enjoy about Sherman is that he baits. That is actually that literally blew my mind when I first realized, hey, this guy was actually baiting you. First of all, you already know if the boss is there or not. Second, it gives you a chance to like pinpoint his position, and it's just the absolute noob trap. I love it.
Agreed. So the thing that,
excuse me.
talking about tactics again, going back to Glucar and his, you know, forward scavs, the guys who will push out and kill you, and then his defender scavs and all that stuff. If they can start making actual scavs not be, you know, stupid, and have those types of behaviors, that would be fantastic, because then we're looking at more, but without the aimbot, of course. So if you had Sturman, it's like one scab that sits in the back, because what Sturman will do, talking about this baiting mechanic, is he'll sit back in the back and bait the shit out. He'll start pulling the trigger just like he's shooting at somebody. But then his two guards are waiting in forward positions because they actually saw you. They saw you push past the point of no return, like Militia says, at the spine. So they moved forward into flanking positions, and then Sturman moved back and started shooting. I saw them do this, so I was like, what the fuck are they doing? And they were moving like weirdly, but they murdered this PMC from like fucking 50 meters away because they both crossfired him. I was like, this is fucking the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So it's really cool mechanics, and they need that for other scavs.
I don't know, man, because these are supposed to be like farmers and just normal people, not like fucking former private military contractors or you know what I'm saying. These guys were like in the Cold War era. Scabs aren't
they're all
supposed to be
Russians, though.
fucking agents. You know what I'm saying?
They're all Russians. All Russians are agents, right?
agents.
I mean, they have like fully automatic guns and shit, but it's different when you serve. It's different.
Yeah.
So I
What's your
think that would
thoughts
go
on,
against the lore.
What's your
Personally,
thoughts on randomizing Scab Bosses in different maps, not have necessarily Sturman on one map, but having a chance of him appearing on another map that's completely randomizing all Scab Bosses?
That
Like
would
Killa on
have
fucking-
him,
Factory,
like-
just running around, power
Yeah.
slide.
Exactly.
yeah.
Random
Power
going
sliding.
there.
That would.
I think
straight.
it'd be fucking
He uses
phenomenal.
ultimate on
Or
you.
Trial that in an event. You go in there and fucking hell, the whole Scab Boss team reserves in Factory, just cucking everything in sight. I think that'd be really great. I think that'd be fucking amazing. Just an
Don't listen
event.
to him.
And do it, Nikita, please.
That would be a fun event, but it
Yeah,
would be
event.
terrible
Event.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late game, pre point 13 in March, soon maybe. A pre-wipe event, do that for like 2 weeks. I think it'd be fucking amazing. I just think that'd be cool to test it out. Like before, they had like every raid, every scab is now is a raider.
As a raider, yeah.
Maybe mix up a bit and chuck in
Yeah.
the Scab Boss team in maps, randomize it.
I think that'd be an amazing event. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely put
Yeah.
that forward. See if you can try and get some traction on it, because that would be a lot of fun. Definitely.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would.
replace every AI with killer.
No.
Wait, what the fuck did I just come back to?
Tarkov numbers reach record low.
People having like groups to get the PTSD squared away from killer. It was just cutting their physical raids.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Guys, goodness
Yeah,
me.
sorry.
How do you talking about AI? How do you think normal scavs have been performing lately? So in the past, those of you cast your minds back to like 0.4567. We used to have an issue where odd numbered patches the scavs would be easy or and then even numbered patches they were just the complete opposite. Like they would literally go like this, like in terms of difficulty. Like there's time, there's difficulty. They would be just like this. How do you think the AI, the normal scavs, are performing in patch 12?
Really weird. It's either they're hitting everything or they're hitting nothing. It just depends on what kind of day you get them on.
So it's like they've just combined all the scavs from over the
they've
years.
just combined it
just
all.
put them all in.
It's
What-
like
what I-
1 minute
what
you
I-
can have a scav completely annihilate you from 60, 70 meters away. Next minute you can walk right up next to him 10 meters away and he'll still miss you with a shotgun.
I kind of like that though, because think about, do you think scavs should have different stats and whatnot? Like I think they should have different
I
stats.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some scavs, like maybe Atlas was talking about, they're a farmer, right? They don't know how to fucking do anything except for go lay a plow or whatever. But then that's not saying bad about farmers. I'm just saying but then the other was like private.
Yeah,
private
you already
military.
said it. You already said it. It's already
Yep.
said it.
Peasants.
We just lost all our farmer viewership. It's gone now.
Oh man.
I think
Gotta
scavs
go
seem
with
to have
this to actually
really heavy ammunition. The ammo seems to drop straight away and just hit certain
Yeah.
body parts a lot. Unfortunately, that's still
Must be
That's
bullet
only
drop.
if-
Yeah, must be
Would
bullet drop.
would
Yeah.
you perhaps be referring to the
Yeah.
legs?
We
Yes,
fixed leg meta.
yes.
Fixed leg meta and
Yeah.
made it head meta. You would not hit anything but your head.
I'm not complaining too much, but it seems they're going to hit you. They tend to hit your legs. But it could be, let's be honest here, everyone's late game now. When you start the game again, you're not in body armor and you're getting one shot by the scab. So I think they're knowing you're wearing body armor still and they're aiming for parts they can pen a lot of the time. That's the unfortunate thing. They are hitting the legs, so they know they can hit that, and they're employing that leg method to kill you. I know half the raids
You know
I
what?
play, scabs are killing me, or it's the scab boss rather than players.
You know what
Of
though?
that
At the
left.
beginning of point 12, I actually got in a bit of a rut, like with my stash and my finances in the game, because I would get one-shotted in the face hitbox probably 8 out of 10 raids. Didn't matter if I was 50 meters away or 10 meters away. The scavs were crushing me with whatever they had.
Point
Like,
12.
Yes, point 12. Point 12. This patch. It was a very, very dark time in my Tarkov history. It was bad, man. But
So you get
then
lucky,
again,
that's
you
why,
know
mate. They're trying to ruin your face.
that hasn't happened in a while. Whether or not I was wearing a face shield, it's just like we've mentioned before. It's just been kind of interesting this patch. It's either they wreck you or they don't, and
No.
who knows why. I guess
I still haven't
think-
forgiven you, by
Like
the
the
way.
thing that I figured out is, especially if you do like nighttime raids, if the scavs lock onto you, and they really have locked onto you, you're having they're shooting you from like 50 meters in the dark. While as long as they're not locked onto you, they're not hitting you at all, not seeing you at all until you approach them like 20 meters. So that's kind of a weird thing that I've witnessed. I mean, dude, a pistol scarf. Literally, I wasn't reserved. I had night visions on. The scarf locked onto me. I was moving away, and he still was shooting me. He had nothing or nothing, and it was pretty dark in the game. So that's kind of a weird mechanism that they, in my opinion, have to fix. It's like the lock on the scarves. If they're locked on you, they're literally becoming a Terminator because they can see you through everything. Although I got to say as well, bushes now kind of work against scavs to hide in and to take cover. They don't tend to shoot so often through bushes anymore as they used to.
I've noticed that too.
Before.
Yeah, they are a lot better.
Much better than before. Fortunately,
They still lock onto you
I think
through
we
the
all agree that that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Back in 2 sex guys count.
If they're
This-
already locked onto you, though, that's the problem. If you lay down into a bush to try to keep them from shooting at you, they will not. They will keep fucking firing into that bush until like your legs are deleted.
Well, I mean that kind of makes sense. If I see somebody go lay down in
Sure.
a bush or jump into a bush, I'm gonna just shoot
It's
at
gonna
the
put a
bush.
full mag in there.
Yeah, it's
full
gonna
mag in there.
engage the bush.
There's a
we
bit
talk
more
about
accurate
shooting
with
at
it, that's all I'm
known,
saying, yeah.
likely, and suspected targets. So
Yeah.
that's what that is.
But they're definitely on the way, and that's good. I
They're
think
getting
we
there.
can. Yeah, they're definitely
Slowly.
getting that. Right. So
I still want to have scavs looting things.
yes, Scabs looting
Yes.
things has
Oh
been
yeah.
that's been something that's been spoken about by BSG. Scavs AI Scavs looting things, whether that's bodies, whether that's containers, whether it's things in the local area to them. No idea. But yeah, like it's no longer going to be, you know, oh, that Scav's got a weapon on his back. That's a player Scav. It's going to be, you know, it's going to become harder and harder to determine what player Scav and AI Scav's going to be, especially with Scavs looting stuff. And obviously, if you loot a Scav, like if you kill a Scav that's been on a bit of a loot run, you might have some good stuff on him.
Yeah.
You never know. So it's not going to just
up.
disappear off the map. It'll be good.
Yeah, that pro kill in his bag.
Yeah.
Are they also going to loot things like static objects? Like, have they mentioned it? So, like what are they called? The filing cabinets and everything.
Not 100% sure how it's going to work. It could just be loose objects. Could include containers. Could be bodies. Really not sure, mate. But BSG do want scavs to display more sort of natural or behavior that you'd expect from player scavs and vice versa. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really cool.
I think that'll be a great implementation. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See a scav killing a PMC, looting a PMC is killed.
Another
Yeah.
thing that I, since we're already talking about scavs, another thing that I kind of figured out or kind of weird to me is why do scav, especially on reserve, why do raiders not attack AI scavs, but you as a scav player get shot immediately?
Yes, that annoys me with killer.
Same,
That's,
yeah. Scab
that's-
bosses.
Yeah,
Kill.
same thing. That is something that I don't get. Like, how can they differ? Like, even do? How can they know? Oh, that's a friendly scav. Oh, that's not a friendly scav.
Yeah, every
I mean,
other
it
scav
makes-
in the area is waving to you
Yeah.
and giving you the thumbs up, and then you go past killer. You're like, oh, hey, buddy, and he's like, "Brrr," you know, takes you out straight away. So it is quite frustrating that
Makes
the
sense
AI
from
knows.
a programming sense, but not from a like lore and realism sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just many times I've spawned straight into interchanges of scav and I've been right in front of killing and he just dropped me as soon as I spawned. It's been many a times he's done that.
chat's
So
saying
he
not
was just
fixing.
trying to wake you up, man. Give you a free cup of coffee.
we've got chat saying killer never used to shoot player scavs, but people playing as scavs would use that opportunity to murder him. So is it a countermeasure to stop AI scavs? Sorry, is it a countermeasure to stop player scavs from taking out the scab bosses with too much ease?
Well, what I would love to see, to be honest, is like raiders and scav bosses shooting everything, scavs included.
Yeah.
That's how I would love to see it. I mean, you got to draw a line. Even nobody gets shot, so everybody gets shot.
Yeah, I agree.
Or they
think
just
of it
scream
like,
and run
like
from
Tack
him.
is saying they're like a squad, just like we're a squad and we go in and play together. They're a squad. Everybody's their enemy, you know?
Yeah.
Going into a raid. That's how
Mhm.
they should behave. You're right.
I'm pretty
Either
sure
that
killers
or-
always
or-
engage scavs. By the way,
What's that?
always.
He did, but they stopped that. He's not doing it anymore. So regular scavs he won't engage.
Really? Now?
Yep.
The fuck?
I think they'd be able
Mind
to
blown.
implement something where the scav boss, either on customs or killer on interchange, would be able to sense whether or not you're pointing your weapon at them. And if they sense that you're pointing at them or maybe ADSing on them, then they will turn on you and become aggressive.
I think that's a cool idea as well.
Yeah.
That way,
I mean, I do it. I walk up to scabs and I
lurk
tap
around
them because I want that Vepr Hunter. But I think
Mhm.
that you're right. They shouldn't be able, they
Stop
should
scab
turn
on
around and be
scab.
like, hold on here.
I mean, in my opinion, yes,
Stop!
there's obviously all sorts of different rules of engagement, and current conflicts around the globe. But if I was in the Tarkov world and somebody was just minding their own business going around me, okay, let them be, maybe not, but all right, I'll let them be, I'll let them go by. But if I saw somebody pointing a weapon at me and then like actually aiming it, no, I'm gonna turn and become aggressive, take cover, shoot at you. So I think if they implemented it that way, that could be a good defense against player scabs, that spawn in with, say, a Vepr Hunter, being able to walk straight up to Killa and just shoot him.
So Killer
have
knows
it
when
be
he's
very-
been aimed at, sort of thing. It's like
aimed at, or if you get too close for his liking, then yeah, just
He has a bubble.
something.
Don't get in my bubble.
Yeah.
personal
exactly.
space.
Respect
Yeah,
the
exactly.
personal space,
You get within his
exactly.
bubble, he ultimates, you slide and shoot you in the face.
Is every
Exactly.
scab boss that doesn't engage now just killer? On a scab.
No, every scab boss is engaged.
Every scab boss, but
players,
scab
yes.
boss minions
We'll
will
always
not.
engage.
Scab boss minions will not engage unless you are seen by the scab boss.
I quite like that,
Oh, really?
when you're a player scav, let's say on customs, and you run over to gas station, let's say, Zavodsko will come over and he'll be like, "Hey, mate, you cannot be here. Get out." And you're like, "No, I'm going to the gas station." And he's like, "No, you're not." And then Rochelle's like, "Oh," and starts taking you out, and you're like, "Yeah, I shouldn't have gone in." But I think that's really, really cool. It's showing. I really love this about the scab boss as well. Like, it shows like another layer of the AI that they can come over to you and say, "Hey, buddy, it's got that RPG element as well. Hey, dude, if you get any closer, we're gonna open fire and flip you the bird, show the middle finger, and you can take that as a warning, and you can go, yeah, sweet, I'll take shortcut." No worries. So I think that's great. I think that's really, really cool. But obviously that only works with scab bosses that do have a crew, and aren't Sturman SVDing you from across the map. Guys, moving on to Jaeger. Is this the most hated man in Tarkov right now?
Yes.
Jaeger arguably got all of the shit tasks from Skier, plus some new shit tasks for himself as well. He basically, I think Jaeger's got a bit of a bad rap from BSG. He gets upset whenever you do a task for somebody else, and then the next day he'll ask you to do the exact same task for him. It's like, "Oh, you killed 20 scabs for Prapor. I don't like that." And then it's the next day, "Hey, got a job for you. I've got some scabs." Then it's like,
That
what?
sounds a lot like being married. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, got him.
Kid, babe, love you.
Got him.
Got her! Get out of here.
I'll have to edit that one out. But
It's like mine's just off camera.
As long as it's a mechanic testing phase, it's fine. As long as it changes in the future, because right now his tasks are pretty nasty, aren't they? Some of them are really bad.
They're
What's the
horrendous.
worst one? I can't recall it. Yeah, as long as it's like
Atlas just got absolutely destroyed. That's what you get.
as long as it changes in the future and it's like a mechanic testing phase, test that little mission stuff, how it fits into the game, that's fine. It remains that way. The tremor one is disgusting. Kill 4
Oh,
PMCs, headshots whilst having a tremor. What is that about?
Why?
If you know how to do it, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah,
Fucking
just to
stupid.
clarify that one, guys, that one was bugged when it first came out. If you shot somebody in the arm or the chest or anywhere other than a clean headshot, it didn't count. It didn't count. So
Also,
you had to
like-
get a clean
Still
headshot.
fucking stupid. Anyway, I mean, how's he gonna know if you had tremors when you killed that person in the head or not?
The easiest
Why?
way to do this quest was actually break your legs, don't heal them, go into the raid, wait until the tremor sets in, and then deliver these headshots on factory.
I just
If you
popped
know how
up.
to
Just
go- if-
deliver
if-
them.
yeah.
Just deliver headshots. Take it. There you go. Easy. I don't know, man.
Speaking of Probital, have you guys noticed that basically Probital is cheaper than morphine, and it does pretty much the exact same thing, plus you get healing? So I just use it as my morphine now. I use it as my combat.
I've been using Probosol since 11.7.
Painkillers, yeah. I just use it as my combat painkillers because it's super quick. It heals you. It's like fantastic. But then it
Sounds
does give
pretty
you
good.
trimmers and shit afterwards. So if you need to complete that quest, there you go.
2 in 1. Easy.
Says on the wiki though, you cannot use stims for the tremor. And I've noticed that too. I tried to do the quest with the SJ6, or I mean, excuse me, the Propodol, and it didn't work.
I got mine naturally, so I couldn't tell you how if it went to it.
As you
I have no
mentioned
idea, to be honest with
the
you.
Propitol and stuff now, chat's mentioning a valid point from Dax here. They're bringing in drug addiction soon, aren't they, to have side effects of constantly using a certain drug. So morphine alone is, if you take that all the time, it's going to fuck you up long term, isn't it? And Propitol, I have no idea what's in there, so it's going to have some weird effects in long term. Taking this medication.
Who the fuck knows what's in Propofol?
What is that stuff? I mean, there's like horse.
It was made in the lab.
Mixed
So
with
who knows?
morphine.
There you go. There you go. Labs. I mean,
Horse tranquilizers.
they've been in. They're into some weird shit.
I love you, man.
So is Takal's by the sounds of things. Goodness me. But yeah.
Isn't fentanyl like a horse trank or something like that? Some crazy high strength.
Oh, you want to talk about fentanyl, do you?
I want to learn a little more about this.
Oh jeez.
Oh yeah, no, he needs some working on because them tasks are fucking stupid from my point.
Yeah, there's a lot of tasks that he's got. Nothing against Jaeger, but there's some tasks that he's got that are just horrendous. I'm just looking at him thinking, I ain't doing that. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Why would you ask me to do that? You know what I'm saying? He's basically the bad part of Skier from 11.7 previous. I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one. I know the tasks are there to test the the boundaries of the mechanics. They're putting in new code all the time for the tasks, like doing new stuff, completing things under certain conditions and that sort of thing. So I respect that side of it, but at the same time, I don't want these sort of things. I mean, maybe have it as an achievement that you killed X amount of PMCs with headshots with Tremor. Maybe it's something that's like, hey, you did this cool thing. Here's a bonus. Not you have to do this dumbass quest. For whatever.
Maybe use that to unlock cosmetics, for example, instead of being actual quests for progression to get to more quests.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think anything should be locked behind ridiculously what's the word? Like an adjudicator. When they like prove that you've done something. You can't verify that you did it. You could just say, hey, yeah, I had Tremor and I did that thing for you, and you'd be like, oh, okay, here you go.
I mean, the problem that I see is why, and this goes in with the Shooter Born in Heaven quest as well. Why does it have to be headshots? I mean, just a normal kill would be enough. Why does it matter if you're aiming like 2 centimeters higher and get that headshot? It's already hard enough to get like these 100-meter kills with a sniper itself. Why does it have to be a headshot? Why does the Tremor thing have to be a headshot? Why not just make a kill while having a Tremor? That already would be enough, in my opinion.
So you're just saying, like, why are some of the quests so darn specific, just so overcomplicated?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we've already talked about this. Move on. I'm just kidding.
You can move on to the next one if you want.
Yeah, we can move on there. I think Jaeger's got enough stick for one day.
Fucking hate him. End off.
Exactly. Guys, this is sort of coming towards the last sort of topics. Issues in general from the team. So any issues, anything that you can think of that has, sparked in your mind, something that is drastically wrong, something that is drastically good, just go for it. Anything that's sort of burning on your mind, any questions from your chat?
I'll speak for us all on this one.
Me?
I think I'll speak for us all on this one.
Flea market.
Nope.
It's amazing. It's an amazing addition to the game, and I think it's really good. Mentioned before, with incentive to loot stuff, but the fact you can go and buy things from a trader and instantaneously sell on the flea market is wrong, in my opinion.
Yes,
because it completely messes up the marketplace. There might be a testing phase, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, but it also makes things available for those people that don't have the traders unlocked, and that's the price.
I was about to bring that up.
They don't have the loyalty with mechanic, so they have to pay the trader's price. That's their choice.
So what's your viewpoint, Atlas? On
they're already cutting it. They're already fixing it. They're starting to remember how 995 was able to be bought you could just buy 50,000 995 bullets as long as you had the money, right?
Yep.
Now it's capped out at 200. So now that's how they're fixing it. That person won't be able to just buy endless amounts of stuff and flip it. They have to choose. Do I want to use the 995? Do I want to sell it for a higher price, and use a lower tier ammo?
Yeah, on the other hand,
so I do think they're working on it personally.
So working on it's fine. So it's a very valid point. But things like, say a gun build, low level for mechanic, build this gun. I go build this gun, and straight I notice that all the attachments, like little Picatinny or whatever it is, or mount for it, is sold out because some person bought 100 of those things straight away and they've sold out. That's the main thing I'm getting at, really. Not the. I'm happy for paying extra money. I'm happy that it doesn't ever sell out. That you can go as level 1 prep war and go buy something from tier 4 potentially from flea market. That's good. That's fine. If the item sells out and someone's buying 100 of those items as soon as it restocks, that personally triggers me slightly.
I think that's why they're capping it. That's why
should
they're
put
adding
a
that
timer.
cap.
Should put a timer on it from when you bought it till you can sell it on the flea.
What's your thoughts then on making flea market purely found in raid only, fully encompassing and encouraging?
That's pretty cool. I like that
mechanics.
idea.
Yeah.
So take away the ability to buy things. The question would be though, is if I killed somebody and took their shit out of raid, then could I sell on flea market? I'd argue that's fair to do so because that's fair.
Yeah.
But if they could do that, be phenomenal because then it again rewards looting, rewards tactical plays, rewards surviving, and you create a full play economy by actually looting in raid rather than buying, click, kind of 10 those please, click, resell for marked up price. It kind of, for me personally, rubs it the wrong way. It doesn't affect my gameplay particularly much. I have money to play the game my way, but I think it could titivate that and change it to make it a player economy rather than a camping trader economy.
I don't like this cap on stuff because you're limited to 200 rounds of 995 for 3 hours. You're going to use that 200 rounds. If you spray down, if you carry on spraying, you're going to use them 200 rounds in one raid. That's why I don't like the cap on stuff. Like I said, they should change it from a cap on stuff to a timer where you buy it from the trader till you can put it on the flea market. That's what I think they should do, not just a cap on it.
Well, having the trader reset that is your timer.
Yeah, that's what I would agree. I agree with Tack. That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, like you buy it from there, you're using 200 rounds in one raid. Then what you're gonna do for the other 2.5 hours that you're not raid that you
exactly? You got to go buy
Craft,
harder 995 or
exactly.
lesser ammo.
Either craft it, barter it, or find it.
I think that's fine. I think that's all fine. I agree. That's fine. I think it's, for me personally, it's stuff that runs out within seconds because people buy it out straight away. That's the only thing. That's my main thing, I'd say. I think it's good that you're forced to use less ammo and maybe reward the guys that have gone to raids and got ammo out and give them the extra cash for it. I think that's really cool. But who here actually thinks, not to catch you guys out, who actually thinks, what else sells out? Like the attachments things and rounds sell out, but there's certain things that aren't capped particularly. I can't pick them out right now, but weapon attachments, they sell out really quickly. I don't know if that's an unfair mechanic having that right now because people just camp it out and they buy them straight away and resell them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Go on.
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I don't like the fact that things can sell out. This is such a double-edged sword, isn't it? How about you can't, like, when you buy something from a trader, let's say for argument's sake it's serial numbered, you cannot sell that item from the trader. So basically you buy an item from a trader, you can then definitely not sell it. I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? Because it makes sense for things to be limited, but it's annoying. It's like such a frustrating aspect of the game where it's sold out because it's been bought to then be sold again from players. Like it's such a, like, I don't mind things being limited because it means that, oh, the traders run out. I want some of this ammo. I know where I can find that. I have to go into a raid and maybe pick some 995 up. I have to go to a raid. I know there's an SNB spawn that I can go and check out, or there's an ammo depot or something that I can go and, raid or whatever. I think that's great. I think that's amazing. It's gameplay decisions. It's making you think. It's tactical decision making in what ammo and what weapons you're going to be using. But the thing that really just pisses me off is the fact that people are specifically buying it to sell it.
The
to
thing
make
again,
it-
this already exists. So we talked about the find it raid tag. What if you just had the find it trader tag, right?
Yeah.
And then that tag, like I think Gremlin mentioned, it lasts 3 hours or whatever it is, and then after that, sure, you can sell it, but that's going to take a really long time of thinking about it. Maybe a full cycle of the trader, something like that. But
Yeah.
or maybe just never. Maybe you just can't sell it. Who knows, right?
Mhm.
But that tag
Yeah.
could easily be created because the function for it already exists in the game.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
True that.
I think the
I
find
mean,
from
if
trader
you could
tag's a good
buy
thing.
like 1,995, let's say the cap per cycle was 1,995 is what you could buy. They could cap how much 995 you could sell on the flea market per cycle.
True.
So maybe you can buy 1,000 rounds, but you can only put up 500 on the flea or 200 on the flea or whatever it is, whatever the balanced ratio ends up being for them.
So you can only put
I mean,
up a
there's lot
certain
of
amount
options.
of that particular item. You can only yeah.
If it was tagged with the bot from Trader, at least.
Okay.
I mean, also what I would love to see is like the issue that you guys all know is like lab access cards. The best example. Have you ever tried getting a lab access card for like 100 grand? It's impossible. And then you see these huge stacks from other players who are like selling 300-400 lab cards in a bunch, in a bulk. Like the way how you're able to purchase something, in my opinion, should be addressed as well. Because at the moment you have all these bots buying the stuff together, which gives us normal people, so to speak, who are not using bots on the flea market, an impossible time to get things for a good price, right? Even if you...
Yeah, they're doing this, mate, because they're making real money in the world, and they're selling,
Yeah,
unfortunately, in-game money for real-life money, and that's fueling the issue because they can buy these things out quickly and fast. That's one of the things which the player market is allowed to happen because you can potentially buy things up and resell straight away. But go on, dude. Sorry, I partly interrupted your comment then, bro.
that's basically it. I mean, add like some sort of system or verification where you have to. I mean, I saw this in a browser game. It actually was done a little bit pretty well there. Like if you want to purchase something, you gonna get the person, then you have to enter a random generated code manually, and then confirm the purchase, so to speak. I mean, that may be one option. There are plenty of options how to avoid that situation at the moment.
I mean, chat saying there they've capped how much money you can bring into raid now. I think that's a really cool addition.
Yeah.
It stops guys certainly wiping the account and transferring gear and stuff, but the primary thing it stops is people doing what's it then using the marketplace, sending money for real world money, and then it makes it more challenging to get that transfer done. So I think that's a good thing. Good move there.
Very good.
I got
One more issue.
something.
Go for it.
You guys ever played military base and you notice that you can shoot out almost every single light in the basement, in the rooms, the ceilings. Every single light is actually destructible. It's really cool because you can make the whole, and kind of like night factories like that too. You can shoot out the lights.
Yeah.
But like Interchange, Shoreline, lots of other maps, you cannot do anything with the lights. They're static. They're always on. Kind of doesn't make sense in a worn-torn mall, that all the lights are on. And the center, like, wouldn't it be cool if you're in the Kiba area and you shoot out the lights in the ceiling, make it completely a different environment? I really think that would be a cool thing to bring into the game. Just one thing I find annoying is when I use night vision, I'm on Shoreline and the lights in the hallway are just always on my face, shit like that. You should be able to just break it with your knife or something.
Because they aren't them lights like client side though. Like you can destroy them you can shoot them on yours, but they'll still be there for someone else.
Yes.
They need to make that server side. And made that server side, that will be a lot better. You'd have a lot more better fights in like Night Factory.
See, I didn't even know that. It's client side, so I'm wasting my time shooting the lights out.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sometimes
Great.
it's client side.
You can see it. It's down customs in the bunker extracts. Me and Gun and Vash run down there. I get on there first. He comes behind me. I see him. Somebody shoot the light, and it's out for him. But I say, dude, it's on for me still. So it can do that even when you're actually watching it happen. Yes, it is.
So yeah.
Hey, we found an issue talking about an issue.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I definitely learned something right now. Jeez.
There you go. That's what it's all about. Got a question for you guys. Sorry,
Go
Graham.
on. No, I was just gonna say another issue. Servers. I know they're working on it now, but they should have done this before 0.12. I've been saying this since 11.5. These servers need upgrading.
Yeah,
I don't even think they're upgrading the servers that we want them to upgrade, though. They're upgrading the flea market and your stash and those
The
servers.
back-end
Are
stuff.
they actually upgrading? Yeah. I mean, we have, hit reg and desync, and they're like, oh, yeah, we care about the flea market more. So I think that priorities possibly is the only thing that I see here.
I think another thing off of Atlas's comment, though, is lighting. Lighting in general in the game is very, very weird. For example, if you go to Customs Night and go over to the dorms, there are only actually a few rooms or a couple spots in the hallways that actually have lights on. But if you're looking into the dorms from outside, all of the rooms are lit up.
Yeah.
Every single room is lit up. And I really don't like it because I think some of the most immersive and intense firefights that I've ever had have been in areas of the map where it was truly dark and flashlights were necessary. I think it would be a great addition for maps that have indoor areas like Interchange, Customs, Resort maybe, it's pretty open there, Reserve possibly. When you even go into a daytime raid, there would be areas on the map where there's an internal room with no windows that is pretty much pitch black. And unless you have a flashlight, you're not going to be able to see anything. Some of the coolest firefights I've ever had have been in those dark places with flashlights on, or the lack of flashlights, rather. And that's been some cool stuff. And I think it would add a lot more variable to the game and make, small, seemingly insignificant attachments much, much, much more useful and necessary to make sure you bring with you every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, ray tracing in Tarkov.
Ooh, real-time reflections. Let's go.
Yeah.
Ooh, ray tracing.
What about
nice.
anybody ever been in like mini L in parking and looked across into S? The light you can't see past the doorway because the light. There's just you're right though. Just going off your comment, there's so many lighting bugs. I've been killed by
they
people
need
back
to
there.
increase the minimum because it's 40 meters right now for the shadows, and a lot of the times what that is you're just outside of 40 meters, so all of the shadows despawn. Therefore, you can see over into the dorms because you have your shit set on 40, but not setting it on 40 is like the thermal situation. You're fucking at a severe disadvantage because you can't see anything past 100 meters if you turn on your shadows.
Yeah.
I have a question here from chat. Militia, are you high?
That's what Mama said.
He's high on
Right.
gamer fuel, boy.
Why wearing glasses?
I mean, everybody's is interacting. He's sitting there like
They're blocking out the haters.
He's blocking out the haters.
I'm a fucking police officer, you twats.
Yes. I'm off topic, but I've been trying to understand like what the issue was with like the overlays and stuff, and I understand why this couldn't be done in 5 minutes now because it's what I've been doing the entire time. So that's why I look so intently. I just now finished it, by the way. It's fine, but yeah, that's why I've been.
Wait, does Militia have an overlay and we don't know? I gotta go see his.
Well, I don't even know Militia.
My overlay works fine, but it had to. It's really, really good, guys. Really fucking good. It's amazing by Militia to get it done, but it was capturing and dragging across everyone's cameras to it. That was the
I need someone to help me set it up. I have no idea to do that.
Fair enough.
Let's move on to the last one.
Overlays are a young man's game.
Back in the days, everything was better.
Is that now on chat? Is it question time? Is it question time for chat for last part
Dan
of the podcast?
Dan wanted to say something before we all rudely interrupted him.
Oh no, that's all right. I was gonna mention the fog in buildings. This is something that upsets quite a lot of people. And there's always a counter argument to it. But fog in interchange, like inside the mall, and fog in general, fog's really starting to piss me off actually, because we've got all these beautiful sniper rifles and all these incredible sniping tools,
and you can't see over 200 meters.
But you can't see over 200 meters, and it's like, come on, dude! Like, you want me to go and get so many headshots or whatever? Why is it so foggy? And why is it so foggy so often? You know, this is something. If I could ask the devs one thing, be like, hey guys, why do you love fog so much? Like, is it resource stuff? Like, are you implementing fog in different areas or testing fog out because it, obviously when it's foggy you can't see as far, maybe they start despoil. I don't know how they're going to work with like dynamic fog and stuff like that, but it's just, I think fog is more frustrating than like tactically viable as like, oh, it's foggy, I can move out. It's more like, it's foggy, I can't see shit. But I guess at the same time,
Soviet Russia, fog tactics you.
Fog tactics you, yeah. Fog sees you.
In game weather, that's fine, but in Interchange it does annoy. Although chat's making a good point, a lot of the windows are blown out in Interchange, and a lot of the garages, the fog would seep straight in. I suppose, I don't know. I'm not a weather expert on pressure and stuff. How it actually truly go into a building, but I can see how it partly does it. But when it's bad, it's bad. You cannot see jack shit sometimes in there. It's really atrocious. So I don't know if it's an excuse Nikita is using to not change it, or it generally is intentional. I'm not too sure. I know it has been addressed in the past. I think so. It's not going to change, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
and
think
the clear thermal image that you get in fog too, so you can stare into fog with the thermal, and it's beautiful. Just like nothing.
That gives you another reason to run thermal.
Yeah.
Chat's blown mind. Goshan, massive fire. Where's the smoke?
You can actually see
the fire.
smoke.
The fire is right underneath
out
the skylight.
roof.
Yeah, the fire is right underneath the skylight.
it's just got some ventilation that is fine. There you go.
Yeah.
Shut that. I don't know. I think it's a tricky one. Fog in Tarkov is annoying. In my opinion, how often is it that foggy in real life? I'm not sure. I've never been to Tarkov in real life on holiday or vacation.
Well,
but...
aren't you from the United Kingdom? I mean, isn't it foggy every day?
Nah.
No. It's just rain.
We get rain
when I come visit. Okay.
It's not everyone sounds Cockney or is out of Mary Poppins, and we don't have bad teeth as well. So there's some things that
I'm
don't wear
learning so
cardigan, by
much
the way.
today.
I know, it's mind-blowing times. I know.
Good times. Good times, guys. Has anybody got anything further that they'd like to add for the benefit of the podcast and the benefit of the chat? Please go for it. Please, let's go. Let's hear it.
One thing real quick. Sound really bugs me in this game, and I would love to see. I've got a bunch of the streams that are live open right now. I'd love to see what chat has to say about it. We won't discuss it too long. I again just want to see people's responses, but I am so against the sound in this game. You can hear somebody moving from so far away. I understand maybe if they're sprinting through bushes, you'll probably hear them a ways off or crunching on some leaves, but walking inside, you can walk at a normal walking pace, almost dead silent, in full kit. You can do that. It's not hard. I guarantee of the balls of your feet and rolling your feet down onto the ground, you can move at a decent pace very quietly. And how much the game revolves around what you hear and the positional location based on audio, I think it's unrealistic. It destroys a really fun thing that I love in games, and is being able to pick up on small little visuals, the side of somebody's shoulder starting to peek around a corner. No, you already heard that guy 20 minutes ago before he ever came around the corner, and it makes it a much less reactive game. And I think that makes it a little less fun for me.
That's always been a bigger one of my issues with the game, is the sound design of movement. Seriously, like why do I have duct tape on the bottom of my boots everywhere I walk? It's ridiculous. If I'm on a tile floor, a completely clean, slick tile floor, and I'm in rubber-soled combat boots, I'm making zero noise.
So
we'll find out how this goes.
Hopefully fix this, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably. They did say they're working on it.
But that all depends on what they actually code into that. Just because they upgrade the sound system doesn't mean that they're going to outright change the way sound works and the way and how far you can hear things. Honestly, if I sprinted up to a building and then slowed down and started moving quickly but quietly, somebody would hear me breathing heavily before they would hear my footsteps. And that's what reality would be. I'm not saying they should make breathing loud.
We can revisit this one on the next podcast.
Yeah.
After Steam Audio's been, see what they do with it.
Yeah, Steam Audio is going to be a big implementation. Those of you that have played Rainbow Six Siege, those of you that have played games like Hunt Showdown. Okay. As far as I'm aware, I've not played Hunt Showdown, but I do have a good few years in Siege back in the day. These games do handle audio very, very well. There's a couple of
Hunt's great.
there's a couple of different systems. HRTF, which is head related transfer function, is essentially the way the audio is delivered is it mimics the audio being it mimics how your brain would hear it if it was real. Okay, because obviously we've got two ears and there is a slight, I know it's only so big, but there is a delay when sound reaches your ears. It does reach one ear before the other, and it does your head, the shape of your head, your ears, your hair, like your whole head, sort of your ears and your brain can decode that information. And this is a system which I think will be implemented into Tarkov. I think they're going to go down the sort of binaural HRTF route. And yeah, like you say, Hunt's audio is absolutely fantastic as far as I understand. So I think that's where Tarkov's going to go. So imagine Tarkov with Hunt Showdown audio. Not necessarily, it's not going to be the same sounds, but the implementation, the way audio is delivered to the player. So think about that.
Question from my chat. VoIP in game point 13, it was due in point 12. Do you think it's a good addition to the game? Will it have benefits and negatives, or is it all one or the other? What's your thoughts?
I would like it if you could turn it on and off at your choice, because
there's already an
as a
option
streamer,
in the sound.
Yeah, as a streamer, you don't want to be running through a map and there's someone running shouting TOS words.
Is it a quick key, Atlas, or
no? If you go to settings and sound at the very bottom, it says mute other players, not available in beta. So it's already something they've got in ready to go. For that exact reason. I mean, the amount of people that come in and are like, I'm gonna blast Magic Mike along interchange, shit like that. No one wants.
I'm
that.
just gonna be singing Christmas carols running around everywhere.
I think
Middle of summer.
A lot of players do want to team up with people. Like how many guys see on Reddit and stuff and Twitter and Facebook complaining. I went into lobby, I accepted the invite, I went and raided somebody and insta killed me. Or they want to find people to play with and stuff. They might actually try and use VoIP. I think you'll find a lot of people will actually try and use it. As a streamer, I'm concerned having it on, especially, and the bigger guys out here as well are going to get targeted, and they're going to get spammed.
I would like a quick toggle
low
key.
latency, naughty words, or hardcore drum and bass Russian stuff, which is quite funny. I would laugh at that. I'd be really good, but
hardcore drum bass, yeah.
Yeah, I think as a player scav, I'd have it on. I think to interact with random player scavs, one of these scav army and things, would be really cool.
Yeah, a hotkey to turn it off would be fantastic.
Definitely.
And that should be
Hotkey,
really
fix
easy.
it, so done. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, really, really easy to implement, I imagine. They've probably already, hopefully, thought about that.
Okay.
We'll see.
Cool.
All right, well, is that everything?
I think, my friends, unless, go for it.
You guys heard about Twitch Prime?
Every time, man. Every time.
Twitch Prime.
Takals has got a sticky note on his monitor. Mention Twitch Prime at the end of the podcast.
I've just got 3 cups worth of coffee. The McDonald's stickers around mine.
McDonald's coffee
McDonald's
stickers
on your what?
Mate, I might start doing that. Sounds pretty cool. But for real, guys, if nobody has anything burning, then yeah, guys, thank you all so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Is anybody going to be staying on for game playings?
I'm personally finishing, but I also want to say thank you as well. I think roughly aim off, we'll discuss it off stream, but roughly aim off after maybe pre-point 13 patch notes, could do another podcast then, or certainly after point 13 we can do another podcast discussing things. But this would be a more common occurrence. I think the rest of the team will discuss that offline, but hopefully chat enjoyed that. It was something I think we've done before. Dan Nye and Zakari's done before with Red 7. I think it's a cool thing to do.
I think,
mentally. So thank you.
Absolutely. So what I'd like to do, guys, we're going to go from, as I see it, from top left to bottom right. Warfighter, my friend, if you could tell us your sort of schedule, when you're going to be online and where people could find you, that would be awesome.
All right, guys, to try and make it brief, I would just first like to apologize. So I was a full-time streamer at one point. It was some of the best 6 months I've ever had. was a great time. Now life has gotten a little bit more busy. I do try and stream once a week though, usually on Saturday, sometimes on Sunday. I'm going to be posting in my Discord and on Twitter in advance from now on what day of the weekend I will be streaming, and I usually stream Squad these days. But Tarkov will definitely be in the rotation as well, and I probably actually will be going live today here shortly. But that's going to be for some Squad. So if you guys are interested, stop on by.
And Militia, my friend, if you'd like to tell us what you're all about and what you're going to be up to.
Oh, it's me already. Our orders must be different. I wasn't prepared. I was going to write a thing out.
Yeah, we've got different orders.
Have a whole thing. So probably biggest announcement as far as me's concerned. Misa. As far as Misa concerned, I have been like out of the Tarkov loop for a while because that game just from playing it from no helmet alpha to now like 10 hours a day all the time. It blew a fuse. And so I needed a long vacation from the worlds of EFT. And so I'm going to try to dedicate at least one day, maybe more, but at the very minimum one day to play EFT, because I know there's a lot of people in the team that enjoy watching that. And I know there's a lot of people that are part of my community that enjoy watching that. So
sorry about the audio.
We're going to get back into it. Other than that, I've been doing the vroom, so you can see I've got pieces back here for my race simulator we're putting together, so that'll be fun.
That's a hell of a race simulator.
Yeah, we can even put some slap shit in there so everybody doesn't feel like so out of the loop. I'll fucking drive in a tracksuit or something if it makes you feel better. Other than that, you can probably tell like things on my screen have been going fucky, so that's me trying to figure out our overlays to try to make everything more polished. So I apologize if I have a distraction going fucking monochrome and off and on and off and on. We'll figure it out, and it will be a premiere Tarkov podcast with some of the worst personalities in the Tarkov community.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean me specifically. And but other than that, thank you guys. I'm glad I caught the end of it here, and looking towards like really nice polished shit here soon. So carry on.
Shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, there's an alternative energy drink solution that I can't mention. Okay. There may be a person in this chat who has a competitive energy drink that may or may not be better or worse than the energy drink that I have. Also, you may be able to use a particular code from a particular streamer that will get you a particular discount from that. So it's up to you to choose. You're the consumer, but mine's better.
I drink tea, by the way.
Yeah. Profit sponsored by PG Tips.
Chin.
PG Tips, yep.
Profit, my friend, tell us a bit about you, what you're going to be up to, and when you're next going to be live.
I'm a very busy boy this year. I think most of you guys know, but chat may not know this. I stream Monday to Friday in the evenings, 5 till 10ish roughly, weekends all day. But recently I started a degree, so that's taken part of my time up this year. I'm away for 6 months in May time, doing my dolphin shaving, fun times, trust me. So I'll be busy streaming, working up to that point there, but watch this space. I'll keep you guys updated. But everyone knows I'm primarily a Tarkov content creator, throwing other games occasionally. I'm also obviously this amazing stream team called Forward. That's me. Thank you.
I'm sorry I can't hear you over Vape Nation over there.
Toys has a.
Speaking of which, I think you're up next.
And I'm just waiting for Darth Vader to roll out of that camera.
No vapes next podcast.
No
vapes.
vapes.
Vape free.
Vape free.
This is a vape free
zone,
environment.
that's right.
Say I can't dip, I quit.
Takals, my dude. Tell us about you. Wait, fuck's sake.
That's all you need. That's what you need to know. That's it.
All right, let's move on now. Takals, when will you be live, buddy? When will you next be playing Tarkov?
I basically stream every Monday to Friday from 18:30 CET, Central Europe time, and basically open end just until as long as I feel like in the mood to it. In the regular week, I'm going for like 8 to 9 hours on a daily basis. So if you want to have a good time, a good laugh, feel free to say hello.
The best laugh on Twitch.
Best laugh on Twitch.
Apparently.
True fact.
And we need one more follow to the 2K mark, so I would really much appreciate it.
There you go. That's
I
how you
just
do
done
it.
following.
Jabaden.
Yeah,
2 more now.
2 more now. Awesome. Congratulations. And Atlas, my friend, tell us about you. When are you next going to be live?
Guys, I am primarily a Tarkov streamer. I'm a military veteran of the Marine Corps, so kind of whacked out of my mind. I'm jaded a little bit, so you come in, I'll be really chill, and then the next minute I'm like yelling at chat. So just get ready for that. I stream
Incredibly
every
entertaining.
day. I'm a full-time streamer, and I'll be live tonight if you want to come check it out. Thanks.
Nice. Gunvash, same to you, my friend.
So I'm fairly much like Prophet over there. I'm very busy. This month, or this year, this whole thing, like all of it's getting really crazy for me. So I'll have times where I'm going away for like 2-3 days at a time, weeks at a time, but not nothing too crazy. Outside of that, I stream pretty consistently daily on the weekdays during like 6:30. What did he call it? Central Europe time or whatever till about 10:30. So I try to get a good 4-hour stream each day, and then the weekends it's like he said, open-ended, just fucking kind of until I'm tired and when I start. So typically long streams, anything from like 10 to 12 hours. So yeah, that's me.
Sounds good. Gremlin?
I also primarily I can't fucking talk. Tarkov streamer.
Don't worry, man. No
Primarily
pressure.
a Tarkov
No
streamer.
pressure.
I will be streaming other games, but at the moment I don't have a set schedule because I have IRL priorities going on. But I am in the works of getting one set back up, more than likely afternoon, evening times. So yeah, and that'll be most every day, other than Tuesdays because it's beer and darts day.
Beer and darts day, of course.
Beer and darts.
Yeah,
That's so fucking British, isn't it?
That's so
Can't be a
British.
Darts Day.
Exactly.
yeah, that's me.
Sweet. Yeah, I guess me. Guys, how kind of you to ask.
Guys,
Guys, you know, I'm on Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. UK time. Always Tarkov, 99.9% Tarkov, apart from when the servers are down like this morning. We did enjoy some golf with your friends. I played golf with my 8 friends, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. So thank you all for that. But yeah, guys, I'm Monday to Friday, as you all know, and we'll be smashing some Tarkov. Going to be keeping it going, keeping that train rolling straight up to patch 13. And from everybody here at Forward as One, it's been a real pleasure having you all. Just want to thank everybody in the team for coming by. It's been great. We were saying this at the very start as well. We don't get together enough and chat and stuff like that. So it's been a really great opportunity and a really great experience, guys. So please, if you're in the chat, get some emotes in the chat. Let's get some spam in the chat. And guys, look forward to the next podcast. We'll obviously be announcing that when it comes up, most likely a bit closer to patch 13. Okay. Everyone happy?
Nice.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Yep.
Guys, thank you all so much. To Carl's, I believe you said you was going to be playing some Escape from Tarkov tonight, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Not 99.999%.
Maybe.
Escape from
Yeah.
Tarkov. Takales plays Escape from Tarkov.
Cool.
No way, man.
No
I thought
way,
it was
man.
a hand simulator main.
Bye-bye.
No, The
I-
Sims.
I thought it was a beard growing stream.
Oh, The Sims? Okay, I love that.
Sims, good stuff. Guys, have an amazing evening. We're going to be putting up the screen for now. Have an amazing time, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one, everyone. Take good care.
Good night.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.
Thank you all so much. Where am I? Where am I? Chat, I'm lost. I'm lost, chat. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. What's going on? Where's my cam gone? My camera's literally... Oh, I know why. It's because of fucking this. Alright, one sec, guys. My admin is on my ass right now. Let me just sort this out. Properties, deactivate that. I should be back in 3, 2, 1. There we go. All zoomed in and weird. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that. I think that was a lot of fun, actually. We good? You guys see me? You guys hear me? Happy days. Happy days. Let's turn this up a little bit. 2-hour podcast, 2.5-hour podcast, just like that. Straight off the bat after an 8-hour stream. People say streaming is easy. No, it's been absolutely amazing, guys. Thank you all for an amazing week. It's been an absolute blast. You know, I honestly wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to do anything else as a career. Hanging out with you guys, playing Tarkov with you guys, keeping you up to date, talking about the game, and just basically being the best community on Twitch, man. It's the best thing ever. It's the best. You know, I'm 28 years old. Started streaming. What, 2 years ago? 2 years ago last month, and yeah, it took me 10 years to find my, I don't know, my calling, I guess. So yeah, it's been fantastic. I know I can see a lot of names in the chat that were here for the duration of the podcast. You guys stuck it out, man. 2 hours, 2.5 hours of us chatting away, talking about Tarkov. I tried to get as many points in from the chat as possible, but obviously when there's eight of us all trying to get the points in and trying to follow the schedule, the itinerary, and stuff like that, the script at the same time, you know, that could easily talk. I could spend a whole stream talking about it and you know, getting everything out with you guys. So I hope you really enjoyed it. I'm going to highlight it as well. Okay, so I'll get a nice highlight. So for those of you that missed the podcast, or maybe there's certain bits that you want to go back through, we will look into that. Guys, go to the Discord as well. If you're not already in the Discord, !Discord in the chat, please feel free to go over there. If you go and have a look at the podcast questions page, the community has been extremely kind and proactive in getting all of the leaks from the BSG podcast. As far as I'm aware, they're all now in the Discord. So if you want to go see all the new stuff, go check it out. Okay, I'm fairly certain it's in there. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, it is. Okay, so go to podcast questions. I mean, I might even be able to show you from here. You know, it's all right here, guys. Okay, new helmets, rigs, full body armor and stuff, clothing. Okay, this is going to be PMC clothing. Looks like bear. Oh, it says USEC on his fucking. Okay, there you go. USEC gloves. Okay, that's actually awesome. Like a sort of dark grey, black rain jacket sort of thing with green gloves. That's absolutely amazing. So go check all this out, guys, and you know, have a look and enjoy that. All right, nice. Who's that coming in with the bits? Exciting with those late stream bitties. Thank you so much. There's a couple of follows have been rolling in. We've got Dalton Fury, Autodus, Warfighter came in with the Prime sub, 13 months. Shrink with the follow as well. Very much appreciate, guys. I hope you've had a great experience. I certainly have. Now, before I waste away, I think we're going to go and grab some dinner and chill out. I think we're going to go and show some love. Who's the sexy boy on the right? Where? I don't know. Are you talking about the Discord? Am I still playing? No, I'm done for the night, guys. We did 8 hours. Okay, we put in an 8-hour stream, 8-hour Tarkov, and then 2.5-hour podcast, guys. I am absolutely fucked.
Nice.
Nasty, thank you so much for the 300 bits. Guys, I'll let you know, we're going to be back on Monday, of course, okay? 11 a.m. UK time. We stream Monday to Friday. For those of you that are new, we stream between sort of 7 and 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday, from 11 a.m. UK time. But yeah, I think that is it.